My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
If you've ever wondered if you can pull off cowboy boots, then you should pull on a pair of Tacovas. Comfortable right out of the box and available in dozens of timeless men's and women's styles. Their handcrafted boots are ready to put the world at your heels. When comfort leads, confidence follows. And Tacovas delivers both right to your door. Visit tacovas.com. That's TECOVAS.com. And don't go gently. You'll love where you're headed.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4078. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. Join us once again. We will sit and spin. And today, a little last call with the last songs performed by artists who died way too soon. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack, drinkity drum.
All right, here we go. A bus driver in the UK pulls to the side of the road to service his love dart. Meanwhile, a Utah man pretends to be a cop to beat traffic. Not very smart. St. Louis SWAT team busts into the wrong home and destroys everything inside. Burning down your apartment to evict tenants is not something that I would have tried. And an alligator living at the Coca-Cola plant is forced to switch to Diet Coke. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, one of the bigger news stories today comes from my hometown of Baltimore. Early this morning, a container ship collided into a pillar of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing the bridge to collapse. Keep in mind, this bridge is 1.5 miles long, and the bridge serves as the entryway to the port. And it's the largest port in the U.S. for specialized cargo, so expect there to be all kinds of issues with that. But all of that said, the ship that hit the bridge, the Dally, Yeah, it also hit a retaining wall at a port in Antwerp, Belgium, a couple of years ago. Seems that ship kind of has a history of doing that. Now, it didn't do as much damage, but still. And while that's not great, it could be worse, of course. Take Boeing, whose 2024 is shaping up to be a blooper reel. It all started in January when a door flew off the plane mid-flight. A week later, a cockpit window cracked just before takeoff. A week after that, a flight returned to the airport after flames came out of one of the engines. The next day, a wheel came off during takeoff. That was followed by the jammed flight controls on another flight, a damaged wing on yet another flight, and then another tire falling off of a plane earlier this month. Now, the good news is not everything that happens more than once is always bad. Right? If you're an A-list celebrity, you're already pretty lucky. If you land a role as a superhero in one of these movies, your luck improves thanks to the payday that comes with it. Luckier still is getting a role for more than one superhero. Think about Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba, Chris Evans, Halle Berry, Michael Keaton, Willem Dafoe, handful of others. They got to appear in the DC Universe, the Marvel Universe, and you know what they did? They cashed that check and laughed all the way to the bank. But luckily, you don't have to be a celebrity to make bank. A woman in Virginia, she won $50,000 from the state lottery. The very next week, the very same woman won over $900,000 from the same state lottery. And if Miles is to be believed, he's hit 2 hole-in-ones, maybe even 3. 3? Oh, we've gone up one now. Mm-hmm. So, hey, 2 we can verify. Maybe the third one actually happened as well. Either way, happened more than once. That's a good thing. So today's question, with that in mind, good or bad? What happened to you more than once?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries, and in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the Charles, away we go. Welcome to Season 19, Episode number 4078. What a large and in-charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Taryn Daly, Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show coming in. We're going to sit and spin. Unfortunately, people pass on in the music industry. And today, we have the last song performed by artists who passed away too soon.
All right. Okay.
So, I guess in theory, the last show they did, whatever the last song of the night, That was the last song they performed, more than likely, unless they appeared on, a television show.
Sure.
Whatever the deal is. These are the last songs performed by some of your favorite artists that have passed on.
Some artists are still alive, and you can already predict. Any member of KISS, it'll be rock and roll all night.
It will be.
Just no matter what, that is the last song
Well, they're
that
done.
they play.
They're also done.
So I'm saying, but at some point, they'll die.
Yeah.
And
They're not done.
You don't think so?
No. I feel like as long as I've been an adult, they've been done.
Well, they just told us they were done.
I know. But didn't we all see them on the last tour they did when they were done?
No, we were. I was on a plane back from Baltimore.
Yeah, I didn't see
and
them
it was
on
a
that.
Monday. It was a Monday night.
Right.
And my plane got in at about 8 o'clock, 7:30. I had a delay in Chicago that kind of screwed me. Other than that, I would have got here by about 6, and I think I would have been able to make the show.
All right, well, the one before that, that's I guess I saw.
Oh, the other farewell tour.
Yeah, that one.
That was a different farewell tour, Ted.
Yeah, this was the
That
farewell.
was so long the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That was the see you later, and they actually meant it.
That's right. Correct. Last songs performed by artists who died way too soon. Coming up as we will sit and spin. Oh, what else do we have for you? Hey, if you haven't done so yet, download the Odyssey app. It's absolutely free. Search for the Men's Room page and subscribe there. Believe it or not, the format of our app changed about a month ago or so. And so we were going live at 6 o'clock every night with the Men's Room Happy Hour. Now, that was a specific feature on that app that allowed us to go live. And whatever the reason is, I believe we got a new app provider, or they changed the program on that bad boy. But whatever it was,
they started explaining, and our eyes glazed over.
Yeah, we're like, all right, you just can't do that feature anymore. So what we've decided to do is do the Men's Room Happy Hour as a once-a-week podcast. So far we've done 3. The Happy Hour number 3 is up also at the Odyssey app. Just search for the Men's Room. Subscribe to that page. I believe the new one comes out every Friday morning. So if you haven't checked that out, do so on the Odyssey app. And our question today, good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? The news was a little bit weird this morning. A container ship that collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, believe it or not, this morning, was involved in another crash in 2016. The Singapore flagship crashed into the bridge early this morning, knocking the entire span into the Patapsco River.
Everyone see the video of that?
It's pretty intense.
That is incredible.
Well, it's not that far, because my sister lives in Brooklyn Park, which is just outside, but it's in that part of Baltimore. So I talked to her this morning. She was like, oh, I woke up. It was like the loudest thunder I've ever heard. Then she's like, but there was no weather.
Right.
So it took a minute for them to figure out what was going on. So they started seeing the news reports.
Yeah. Now, the Dolly, the name of the ship, lost propulsion before hitting the support pillar. And video viewed by a number of different sources shows the ship's lights cutting out shortly before impact.
Right.
So basically everything just went dead on that ship.
And they sent out a mayday.
Yeah.
Saying as much.
It is not the first time. Obviously, the ship has hit something, according to the story, involved in another collision in 2016, the year after it was built. The facts are still murky, but any warning signs or patterns in the ship's past maybe could help explain what went wrong, how to avoid similar accidents in the future. Again, this is all pretty fresh.
Yeah,
as far as the investigation goes. The incident was caused by a mistake made by the master and pilot on board. The first one. No injuries were reported. However, there were damage to the stern on the first crash in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
A spokesperson for the port confirmed that the Dolly did collide in 2016 in the port of Antwerp. The person said they can't give any information about the cause of the accident.
Not that they can't, they just won't.
The ship appeared to change ownership, blah, 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 blah. Home port was in the Marshall Islands. The registration later changed to Singapore. It is currently owned by Grace Ocean Limited and is managed by Synergy Marine Group. In a statement, they said it was horrified of the crash and what happened. And it said that the Dolly was carrying cargo from Marsk, but none of its staff were on board. Early reports there were people working on the bridge.
Filling potholes.
Yeah, concrete workers.
Which is a full-time job there,
and,
I can assure you.
And I don't know the size of the portion that fell, but it was the entire, what looked to be the metal span structure.
Yeah, basically it hit
the ramps, concrete ramps are still up.
It hit the pillar on one side. Basically, the entire middle of the bridge collapsed, and then one of these sides that would take you from land onto the bridge, it tipped into the river, kind of like a ramp.
Do we know what time this went down?
Like 1:30 in the morning, something like
All right,
that.
that's the most fortunate part of this. If you're going to look
Yes.
at something as far as the amount of traffic that is normally on that bridge, it is. Look, if you're going to lose power, you're going to do it the day and night. It doesn't matter. I mean,
right.
But to have it during rush hour, if you've ever been on that beltway or on that bridge in any kind of traffic in the morning, especially
Thousands of cars.
Yeah, it's
and they all would have gone in. So you're right. Happening 1:30 in the morning is the best case scenario for all this going
as far
down.
as the time that went down. But again, the ship was involved in 2 different incidents, and this is the second one. So I'm sure that the numbers are going to get a little bit worse as far as the casualties and everything else.
Probably. But someone here makes a good point that says, before anyone jumps to conclusions, the captain of that ship is not the one piloting the ship. Right. So the captain is the captain, and then when you go into different harbors, and this is around the world, you have what they call the pilot. And the pilot is the guy who probably lives somewhere in Baltimore, or at least in the area, knows the waterways, knows all this stuff. So the pilots are the one that actually guide these big-ass ships in.
Okay.
Right? Because they're very familiar with territory and different. And it doesn't matter what you call a port, right? The currents are different. The tides are different. Where the rocks are different. So these guys know that. But in this case, if the power went out, you could have had me on there. Because at that point, you're screwed.
Right. And there's about 15.
They even dropped their anchor to try to slow the boat down.
Right, and you see the giant smoke go out, especially in that time lapse that's sped up.
Yeah.
Like you see the power go out, you see it click on, you see him trying to recover.
They try.
And then it goes off again.
Right. So apparently some type of error on that. So that was a weird way to start the morning, especially as many times as I've personally driven over the bridge.
If you lived in the Baltimore area, you've been over that bridge a million times, Ted. What, you always talk about going to the Eastern Shore? 9 times out of 10, that's the bridge you take to start your journey to get to the beach. I mean, it is a heavily traveled
the bridges are massive in that area. I mean, the only thing I can equate it to is the bridge that goes from Astoria over into Washington.
Sure.
As far as the size of these bridges.
Well, it's also harder here in the Seattle, Tacoma area, right? Because we don't have a beltway.
Yeah.
So, D.C. and Baltimore each have beltways. So you got to understand, part of that, too, is just, where the bay cuts up. My cousin, where he lives in Baltimore, he takes that bridge every day.
Every day.
It's just part of the giant circle around that city. So it's I've been over it hundreds of times, just traveling around.
So, for example, if you look at it like a clock dial, okay? So if you look at it like a clock dial, you could live at feasibly 3 o'clock and work in Glen Burnie, which would be 6 o'clock on the dial, right? So you're just going a quarter of a clock. But with that bridge gone, if you live at 3 o'clock and you work at 6,
now you got to go counterclockwise.
All the way around that bad boy, or figure out a way to cut through the city, which is 40 or
Well, there is a tunnel there.
Oh, okay.
There is a tunnel. So, but keep in mind, you can still get from point A to point B, but the traffic was split about 50-50 between the tunnel and the bridge.
Yeah.
So now 100% is going to funnel through the tunnel. It's like when the West Seattle Bridge went down. Anytime you went to West Seattle, they funneled you in, from the residential point, and it sucked because you had trucks, you had buses, you had cars. Those streets were not made for that. Now you're driving through residential areas and stuck behind an 18-wheeler.
Right. Plus, for those people that are going to you could take the tunnel now, but also now you're getting on 95.
Right.
Whereas Key Bridge was 695, an offshoot of it. Now you're just on traffic of people going up and down the East Coast, much less just rush hour. Sometimes for me, right? If I'm going to my buddies in Burion's house, it's easier to take 99 than instead of cutting through the middle of downtown Seattle
5 turns
on a
into a
Saturday afternoon when there's just normal traffic of people going up and down the coast.
Right.
Yeah.
And depending on the time of day, you might not be able to get in the express lanes. So our question, good or bad, would happen to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Alexander. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. How are you?
Good. 2 things that happened to me once in 1 week. I got hit by a semi-truck on the way home from Tacoma on I-5. 3 days later, since, I was coming back to work off the injury, a semi-truck rolled over on I-90 East, or maybe, my bad, West, blocking all the lanes. So a little double whammy with semis that week.
Yeah. Well, how bad was your injuries?
Just a few cuts. It wasn't, honestly, it hit the passenger side, luckily. He just verged into my lane and spun me, did a whole 360. A lot of fun.
Did he stop?
No, he kept going.
He knew he hit you and he kept going?
Yes.
Do you think he knew he hit you?
I have no idea. He just went into my lane. I tried to move out of the way, couldn't, and just ate it.
Because I've heard from a lot of truck drivers, they go like, look, man, part of the reason you need to be careful when we're driving, is, especially with the side swipe kind of thing, they're like, if we're hauling cargo, like, your car doesn't weigh anything, man. We don't even know that it's happened. I've heard that more times than be comfortable.
And did anyone stop and help you who maybe saw what happened and you spinning around? I mean, someone who was driving behind you.
Yeah, I had a couple people making sure I was fine. I was like in the fast lane, and he was in the lane next to me, like the middle lane.
Yeah.
And this was like around Bowling Field, kind of. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of little S turns in there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Like Washington State laws, usually they have to stay like 2 lanes to the right, and he was in the 3rd lane over, and there's 5 lanes there. So
at least you didn't get in a crash the second time. That's kind of sometimes when that stuff happens. When it rains and pours, it just keeps happening.
Right. I thought it was say he hit another cylinder.
Like, oh my God. Good or bad? What's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jason. Welcome to the men's room.
Who, bitches?
Boo!
So, I've been lucky and fortunate enough to win a few radio contests or just contests in general in different ways. Like, today I just won Kraken tickets on the radio.
What did you have to do?
Caller 10.
Caller 10. All right. Okay. How many times did you call, or was that your first call?
Man, I've been calling for weeks, honestly, but today I had to call like 8 times to get through on just that particular one. But I've been like caller 3 or 5 or 8 or whatnot.
Okay. I mean, as bad as they are, that seems like an easy win.
Have you ever won anything from this radio station?
No, actually no.
Okay.
But I've won. The best thing I think I won from the radio was a year of free gas.
Wow.
But then through work, I won an all-expense paid trip to Puerto Rico to stay at the Ritz-Carlton.
You won an all-expense paid trip to Puerto Rico. Were you on Wheel of Fortune or something? Good Lord.
Dude, that hotel is swanky.
It's the Dorado Beach resort. It was one of their newer ones, and it is insanely expensive. Like, I had to Google it, and I was like, I could not afford this.
How long did you get to go down there?
4 nights.
So 4 nights.
It included first-class airfare and a limo to and from the airport. Like, it was insane.
Does it kind of ruin travel for you after that? Because, like you said, on your income, that ain't happening again.
Man, everything is a step down. Everything. The craziest thing that happened was we had 2, like, basically butlers for our room, and my wife got sunburnt while we were there because they have their own water park on site, of course. And when she got sunburnt, we called them at like 10 p.m. to try and get some aloe. This girl woke up straight up, came out in her pajamas, went out to the spa, cut off an aloe leaf, stripped it, and brought it on a banana leaf, like, and handed it to her to put aloe on her sunburn.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was not my...
See, brother, that's living.
That was not my Puerto Rico experience. Mine was going into a McDonald's there because they have a chicken Big Mac and I wanted to try it. Well, they had a billboard.
See, Miles did it on his budget. You got to go on theirs. That's the difference.
I almost wrecked the rental car when I saw the billboard. I was like, chicken Big Mac.
Where'd you stay in Puerto Rico?
Who are these people? Where did I stay in Puerto Rico? I stayed downtown by the Chili's and the Dunkin' Donuts.
I think I want to go with the caller.
My grandmother used to live there for a number of years, so I stayed in the hotel that she lived in. So
okay,
I just kind of wanted to have that experience.
That's why the dude fell off the high wire. Is it that one, or was she in a different place?
No, that was the hotel. It's still there.
Did she? So the Walindas, right? Everyone knows the Walindas, the tightrope walkers, but I guess the father of the current crop that's out there.
The granddad at the time.
Yeah, he died, what, in the 70s? Like mid-70s?
Probably 79, 80.
He fell off the wire, but he was walking on a wire between Miles's grandmother's hotel and whatever hotel's on the other side of the street.
And there was
and she saw it, didn't she?
Well, that family was from there. So there was
the Walindas?
I'm pretty sure there was quite the crowd.
Okay.
And when he fell, man, he fell, right where everybody was. So.
Right, because he was kind of in the middle. I've seen the video. They always cut the video, obviously, before you see him smack into the ground. But, he's doing the tightrope walk thing. And you see him begin to lose his balance like when you're slipping on ice. And like anyone, even if you're a tightrope walker, you overcompensate. And then he's just not on the wire anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
But technically, that's kind of what you pay to see.
There's kind of a bad area of San Juan, so of course I'm there looking for drugs.
That's the place to go.
And then I'm like walking down the middle of the street, and I'm telling you right now, it was the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a little shanty part on the water. The houses are a lot more dilapidated and everything else, but you're still on the water. Still a beautiful location for the neighborhood. So I'm walking down this dirt road, and I look over, and there's a full court basketball game going on. I'm like, get out of here. So I walk up, man. It's a beautiful, because the backboards were like NBA quality backboards.
All right.
I walk up there, man, and it is a professional basketball court that Carmelo Anthony paid for.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
He is from, I believe he's New York, Puerto Rican maybe, or something like that. I know he's got some, obviously, ties to Baltimore, but I think his family on one side was Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But he ended up putting in basically a pro court in the middle of the project, man. And I just stood there and I was like, that is awesome.
That's good for them, man.
It was very cool. Our question, good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Remember when you first saw the potential? And then through some elbow grease, fresh installs, and a whole lot of love, you transformed 100,000 miles and a body full of rust into a drive that's all your own. Look to your left. Look to your right. It's official. No one's got a ride like this. There's nothing else that sounds like, feels like, or looks like the set of wheels in your garage. With over 122 million parts, you can make sure your number one ride or die stays running smoothly, so there's no limit to how far you can take it. Brake kits, turbochargers, engines, exhaust kits, roof racks, LED headlights, bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Plus, at these prices, well, you're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada. And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Good or bad, what has happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. So, what happened to you more than once?
So, in the same week, I was in 2 separate car accidents. And this was my second week of driving.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So the first one was a little minor, and this one I was at fault. I was in traffic, and I was pulling up off the on-ramp, and there was a homeless person there, and I was trying to do right by them, and I was trying to reach for my wallet and pull out some money, and by doing so, my foot slipped off the brake, and I rear-ended the car in front of me.
All right.
Not too bad, but then later on that same week, I'm driving off the same off-ramp. I'm going down, and I'm going through the light, and I get T-boned by another old lady coming out that same road.
Did that total your car?
It messed it up, but the insurance company deemed it total, even though all she did was just wreck the driver's side door, but they deemed it totaled by...
Might have been the frame. Typically, when you get teed, you have a chance of bending the frame, and if you bend the frame, it's kind of hard to do anything about that. Yeah.
What kind of car were you driving?
It was a Suzuki Verona.
Oh, wow, Jesus. All right, when's your most recent accident?
2 years ago.
And what happened?
I was going a little too fast and was seeing red lights coming up against me, and I tried to slam on the brakes, and I rear-ended somebody.
Okay. So you've done that twice?
Yeah.
Now, when you say you're going a little too fast, let's be honest here. What was the speed limit and how fast were you going?
Let's see. Well, the speed limit of the freeway was 60. I was going about 75.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I can live with that. Not bad.
People are driving a lot faster these days.
Good.
I mean, look, I'm a fast driver, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna. But I'm talking blowing doors by me. As far as just even on I-5, and it's normally, I drive on the weekends typically on I-5. It is a pack of cars. It's like 4 or 5 dudes, like just following each other, just racing down, man.
Look, I know you're not supposed to speed, but everyone speeds. I'm glad that more people are driving fast. Because, my God, when we first moved here, I'm like, I cannot understand how everyone drives so slow. Even if the speed limit is 55, like, I don't want to go beyond that. Like, my mentality is like, the speed limit's kind of like a heavily suggested thing, but no one really expects you to go 55. I mean, even the cops, you drive by a cop at 60, like, they don't pull you over. You got to hit like 80, then they pull your ass over.
Good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the men's room.
Marijuana and Madams.
Hola.
First of all, Country Corner Market on 164 going to Enumclaw has got the men's room IPA.
Nice. There you go.
I haven't drank in 10 and a half years. I did it for the charity. When you give it to the wussies at work.
Oh, nice, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I thought you were saying, so I bought it for charity.
I'm
I got
the
drunk.
whole thing, and I'm back on the wagon.
Yeah, we don't drink alcohol.
Oh, that ain't happening, man.
No.
So anyways, marriage, man, I've been married 3 times. They were all good when they started and bad when they finished.
That's generally how I would think it goes. Now, are you still married to wife 3, or is she part of the divorce club as well?
She's part of the divorce club also. Haven't been with anybody for 5 years now.
All right. And did you make a pact to yourself that you were done with that, or are you still open for the possibility?
Man, they got to fall right in my lap, and I got standards now that I don't drink also.
Yes. That changes everything.
Does that make it harder to date?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Can you be around someone who has, a couple glasses of wine with you at dinner? Does that bother you?
Nope.
All right, good.
My friends still drink down in Klamath Falls and stuff, and I just tell them, I said, I got a point, man. As soon as you turn stupid, I'm leaving, and don't question why.
All right, that's fair.
Do you have a time cutoff? I find if I'm out at bars and I'm not drinking, it seems like 10:30, 11. I'm like, all right, I got to get out of here.
That's probably about it. I haven't been to a bar for a long time.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there for it, to be honest.
How much money have you saved by not drinking and going out, obviously?
I drive a 2010 Raptor now, and the gas mileage ain't very good, so
you're doing all right.
Money.
You need it.
All right, how does your body look after you gave up drinking?
I've been skinny all my life. I'm 6 foot, and I weigh about 135.
Whoa, dude.
Jeez,
man. So you're just 100% penis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sure am.
Look at me. Well, I mean, if you're 130 pounds.
So what happened why did marriage number 1 come to an end?
That was drugs, alcohol, and the mother-in-law.
Were you the drugs and alcohol having to deal with the mother-in-law, or was that just all around?
It was all around.
Okay.
The mother-in-law got mad when I quit hooking her up, pretty much.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is not at all how I thought that would shake down.
Did she live with you?
What was that?
Did your mother-in-law live with you?
No.
But if you're the hookup, if you're the drug dealer,
Okay.
Yeah, she was over there all the time.
So
they
wait a minute.
lived in Portland, and I took my wife up there once, and on the way back, she goes, I got something to tell you. I'm filing for divorce. And I said, you were talking to your mother. So
wow. All right.
Just out of curiosity, what drugs?
Meth.
All right.
Okay. I guess you don't do meth anymore.
That would be drug. I went for a list. It's like meth, and we're done. All right, what happened at the end of marriage number 2?
End of marriage number 2 was straight alcohol and drugs, and we both just parted, and we're still friends today, as a matter of fact.
Okay, that's fair. Was she able to clean up as well?
Yeah, but her health is really bad. She's not going to make it much longer.
All right. And number 3?
So, number 3, I'm really not sure. I showed up from work one day, and she was gone.
All right, so you have no idea where she is?
Well, she's in California with a new husband.
Okay.
All right.
Were there any, looking back though, man, were there any red flags that said this was getting to this point?
Not looking back because I was drinking.
All right. Do you have a type? I mean, are they similar in any ways?
They leave him.
I know. Are they similar in any other ways?
Yeah, they're women. That's it.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, maybe swing the other way. You never know.
Yeah, might work out better for you.
Good or bad? What's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Troy. Welcome to the men's room.
Well, hola.
Hola.
Well, that's hilarious that I'm following up to that. I forgot his name, but I have almost the exact same story, except drop it back into high school, early college years with relationships.
All right.
So I in thinking about it while I was waiting to get online, it's like I think it came back. I'm pretty convinced that, I was raised by some hippie parents, and especially my mother, who marched in Montgomery, Alabama with Martin Luther King.
Dr. King.
It's probably the best time to do that. Yeah.
I wouldn't march there for any other reason.
Yeah, no.
Right. No. This is back in the 60s. She was there, but she just drilled into my brother and I. It's just like, you treat women with respect. You give them their space, and I took that to heart. So I was Mr. Nice Guy, and I wouldn't do anything with women unless they approached me or made the first move. That was kind of how I approached relationships.
All right.
And as a result of that, seems like every relationship I ever had up until now, which is why I don't know if this is a negative or a positive, but every woman I was with ended up with somebody else, cheating on me while they were supposedly dating me.
This is every other woman that you've been with?
I'm sorry?
You said every other woman that you've been with?
No. Up until the one I'm with now.
As far as you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. How many times have you been married?
Oh, only one time.
Okay.
28 years.
And that's the woman you're with now?
The woman I'm with now, I actually finally made the first move.
There you go. But that wasn't the woman you were married to for 28 years.
No, that's who I'm. No, I wasn't married to these other ones. One was in high school and one was in college.
All right.
And in high school, I got the story from the girl in high school. She's like, "Oh, I just don't want to get together tonight," and I just felt suspicious, and I did a stupid thing, and I followed her, and sure enough, she ended up.
That's also that age when people do that, man. When you're young and you're just kind of exploring things, I don't think that's anything out of the normal. But
No, but it happened a lot. It happened a lot.
I think it happens
a lot because typically at that age you take what you can get.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
when the better thing comes along, I don't think as a teenager you don't waste any time. Just go.
Even if when you're at school, when you have those first jobs, you're out on your own.
Sure.
You have your own place. There's just a lot more.
Yeah.
Your eyes are just opened in a different way as far as what.
The second one was kind of hit home a little bit too hard. Where the girl I was dating, she said she had some sorority events that she needed to go to up at ASU. We all know, and I found out much later that she didn't go up to ASU. She actually flew to Iowa to be with my brother.
Oh man! Damn, dude!
What's up with your brother?
Whiz, dude.
The funny thing is, he's up here in the Northwest with me too now, and we're like best friends. I just saw him yesterday, and we laugh about it now. But and believe it or not, I'm still friends with the girl that he did that with.
I can't imagine going out with someone that my brother did. For whatever reason, that's I would be like, no. Look, you're beautiful. I like you. No. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Unless you don't tell anybody.
Well, my brother and I, we have very different tastes in women, I think would probably be the best way to put that.
Good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, my brother's just old enough it never came up.
Right, it was 7 years difference.
Yeah.
But it could now.
I mean, it could
right
now.
In
the adult world.
Right, but
right
at
now.
18, he's not sweating 11-year-old Ted like,
Right.
Ted, did you smash my girlfriend?
Right, and when he's like, when he's getting married, I'm only 19, so it's like, right, like it never really would have been an issue.
How long has he been married now? It's going to be like 25, 30 years?
Yeah, right? He got married when I was 19. I'm 43.
That's
a long time.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, he's still married, but I would say over the years, he probably caught an eye at a couple of mine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, seriously.
Hello, Tom. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola. So what happened to you more than once?
I've been threatened to be killed.
More than once?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's the level of the threat? If I had $1 for every time somebody threatened to kill me, my wife alone, Christ, I'd be a millionaire, right? But I mean... But is it like when people said, I'm going to kill you, is it something where you thought legitimately this person wants to take my life, or is it just someone's pissed off and that's what they said?
Oh, no, legitimately.
All right. What was the situation?
I'm a security guard in downtown Seattle.
Okay. Say no more.
All right.
Yeah. That probably happens on a daily basis.
Pretty much. It happened about, 30 minutes ago.
What was the situation where you had to address someone?
Well, somebody was trying to use an unknown substance in one of our buildings.
Uh-huh.
And I had to remove him from the building. And he didn't agree with that. So he decided to try and kill me.
With what? Shank?
Well, he pulled out, I don't know what it was. It looked like a piece of metal of some sort. But, yeah, he said he was going to kill me. So it's like, okay.
What are you allowed to do in that situation? If someone comes out, like anything else, if someone comes out after someone, I feel like you have the right to defend yourself.
Right.
But in your position, that seems to maybe not be the case. Is that so? Can you defend yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'd size up whoever I'm dealing with, and all I can carry is a flashlight, basically, a large mag light.
All right.
So,
all right. Did you have to whack this guy with your flashlight?
No, I did not. But he decided wiser, and he left. But I'm a little bit older, and most people, they look at me, and these young kids, they look at me and they go, oh, I could take him. But I tell you, no.
Hey, man, we deal with weirdness every single day.
So you could work in this building based on your story.
I can't tell you one normal day, maybe once a week.
No. Are you kidding?
Where something weird just doesn't go down.
I mean, look, we're smokers, so we end up going outside. And once you go outside, man, it's like, it'd be like going on safari and stepping out of the security of your fenced-in truck and just wandering into the jungle to go take a leak. Like, you're going to hear things, you're going to see things, and when you come back, you're a changed person.
Yeah.
You just go like, my God, man.
Our security is always doing something because of somebody. I mean, they've always got some crap going on.
How many times do you have to chase someone away for, pooping or peeing on the building? I feel like there's always someone screaming, walking down the street, don't care. Some people get in a fight.
Today?
I don't care.
Today or this week?
This week, so far.
Okay, this week probably about 35 times.
I can believe that.
Where do you always?
At least pooping and peeing, I can fathom. Sometimes it's like, you could smoke on the street. Nobody seems to mind. Why go? Why go in a building?
What street do you work on?
I work down in Belltown.
Okay.
Right off of 4th.
All right, so you're on the north side of Crazy. We're down on the south side of Crazy with 3rd Avenue. And then I would argue that
work down there.
4th, I think, is probably worse than 3rd, actually, when you get up into Belltown.
3rd stays 3rd all the way.
Stay 3rd the whole time.
I lived in Belltown for 8 years. 3rd stays 3rd. Right, 'cause I lived on 2nd. I lived on 2nd. It was always a trip going over to 3rd to get to 4th.
Just that one block.
Seriously, right? And I used to go to the one grocer on 3rd.
Yes.
Right, but that park was just full of superstars.
I know exactly the park, dude. That is
superstars.
I'm kind of stealing that. There was a famous heroin movie with the Basketball Diaries where it was all the All-Stars are here at the shooting gallery.
Okay.
Yeah. Just right. It's
is that the dog park?
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy used to be a whatever. That guy used to be a whatever.
I mean, they call it a dog park. I'm like, well, what they should say is it's a drug park, but also
you can bring your dog
to do for your dog. Yeah.
For instance, 3rd Avenue is the place I have that famous story around Thanksgiving where I guess I'm wearing a sweatshirt with a couple stains on it, going to that market, and the guy's like, free meal. And I'm like, no, it's fine. He's like, seriously. Turkey, stuffing, it's free.
You look that bad.
And I'm like, dude, it's just a sweatshirt.
Were you hungover?
Yo, yeah. It's like Sunday morning, 8 a.m. I just hopped up. It's like, I got to walk down to Dan's, get some provisions and a Gatorade. You know what I mean? It's like a workout hoodie. Just threw it on. And that guy, when he said it the second time, I think I walked around that little.
So you had to pass him.
I didn't want to pass him again.
Get your feelings hurt again. No, seriously, so you don't have to be ashamed.
It's hot. Right. Come in for a little while.
Right. That's all I'm like, dude.
Do you need any socks? Good or bad? What happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, 3rd does not change no matter what part of the city you're in.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark. Welcome to the men's room.
Greetings.
Beans.
Hola.
So I've been hit with a golf ball multiple times.
What is the scenario?
Bad golfers, golfing with bad golfers?
So the people in your party hit you?
No, other golfers. My nickname's Dodgeball.
Where did you get hit?
Most recently, the back of my calf. And it put a huge bruise.
Yep.
About 10 years ago, I got hit in the left calf, and flash forward 10 years, and I called it a hematoma, but whatever it was, it calcified, and it didn't hurt, but if you bumped it, it would take my leg out, and I would just fall right wherever I was at.
Damn.
So I had to have surgery to get it taken out, to get
Jesus.
the remnants of a golf ball.
Did the people who hit you, did they see their ball hit you?
The most recent one, yes. The one that took my leg out, no. I think people yelled for, and, some of them tried to be responsible.
Well, it sounds to me like the guy hit you. He sounds like he drove into you.
I don't know where it came from. The one that hit me in the leg where I had to have surgery, I was in the golf cart.
Okay.
And we have no idea where it came from. And it hit right on right where your calf meets your shin, the bone.
Yeah.
And I was fine for years, and then slowly a little bump started to grow, and didn't think anything of it. And then when I would wrestle with my kids, they would tap that, and it would just take me out. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. And I was at work one day, and I work in going to customers' houses, and my leg bumped like the armoire or something, and I went straight down, and the lady's like, oh, my God. I was like, well, I should probably get this looked at.
Yeah.
And so I go, and they do a ultrasound, and they're like, there's a particular word for it. I don't know I forget what it's called. But the guy goes, so what we're going to do is we're just going to separate your calf muscle, go in there and pull that out. And I was like, you're going to separate my calf muscle? I was like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, we've done it 100 times. I was like, well, I ride my bike. I do the STP several times. I was like, my calf is a little dense. And they're like, don't worry about it. And I wake up from surgery, and my foot is killing me. I'm like, that's weird. And the doctor comes in, and he's like, well, we tried to separate your calf muscle, but we couldn't, so we had to cut through it. And he goes, and it was all the way down in your nerve sheath. And it had grown in a nerve, it had grown around a nerve. So whenever you bumped your leg, it would take out that nerve. And he shows me a picture of this. Basically, it's a calcified little pod. And on the end of each side is a nerve. And I'm like, what'd that nerve go to? And he goes, we have no idea.
How good?
My foot.
Right, exactly.
That's where it goes.
I was going to ask, you playing the same course? Or?
I know. Where is this?
Why did you golf more than almost anybody? No, you don't have stories about getting hit.
I've never been hit, and I've never hit anybody.
Guess what's going to happen this weekend?
I've had balls roll up to me and bump off me, but that's not being hit by a golf ball.
Correct. I've seen balls get close to me. Right, but I was like, hey, I don't know what course this guy's playing or stop playing bad.
Or people don't like him.
Good or bad, what's happening more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What a beautiful day in nature. Take it from a little bug like me. Nothing makes you feel more alive. Whoa, I almost got frogged. That was a close call. But boy, do I feel capital A alive. Luckily for you humans, Nature's Way put that thrilling feeling of aliveness in a bottle. Nature's Way Alive Women's Multivitamin Gummies with 16 vitamins and minerals. Delicious multivitamins inspired by nature. Whoa, better luck next time, pal. Nature's Way.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Good or bad, what has happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, back in the day, when I was just out of high school, I had my dream job, which was managing a beauty school.
That was your
Not
dream
so much
job?
the well, no, the women were the dream part of the job.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd got kind of close with one of the gals that was there. I've been taking her out. I was 18. She was 38. I met another gal. We come in and got her hair done a couple of times. We started hanging out. But one day I'm over at the older gal's house. We're busy knocking boots, and in walks the other gal that I was taking out. Apparently it was her daughter.
Oh,
They
man.
didn't know about me. I did not know about them. It was kind of a stress situation.
You don't say.
Yeah. So after that's all said and done, I was very much more careful about how I approached things and went about business. Once again, same thing happened. Except for this time, I'm taking out one of the young gals that was going to the class. As we're heading out, I wind up talking to another gal who I had also been dating about 3 weeks before that. Once again, it turned out it was this gal's mother.
You got to be kidding me, man.
I am dead serious.
Did either of the two
Not
look?
only that-
Did they look similar? I mean, a younger version of the, you know what I mean, or an older version.
They really didn't look that much the same, but you might have thought they came from, say, I don't know. They didn't look enough to me the same that I would have put them in the same family at all.
Okay, all right, that's crazy, man. I mean, to happen once is one thing.
So on two separate occasions, you've dated the father or the daughter and the mother at the same time.
Yes. Well, that's what happened the second time is second mom figured out what the daughter and I were up to. She decided to go to dinner with us, and one thing led to the next. That was the best 6 months I ever spent with women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it. Right. And everything else aside, like
had a dream job managing a beauty school.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a dream job, huh? Okay. Where's this going? I see now.
That's how my mom got me to finally go to college. I only went 1 year. I did not want to go. We had made a deal that just graduate high school. You don't have to go to college, right? That's the whole thing. So graduate high school, no easy task on my part. My mother's like, you should really go to college. I'm like, we talked about this. I don't want to go. Well, she's now working at a local college, so she's a lot more enthusiastic about the idea. I'm like, look, that's your job, and I'm glad that you like your job. I don't want to go. Well, they offer, all these classes and this, that, and the other. I'm like, I find that interesting. I hear you. Again, I don't want to go. And finally she hit me with, it's 88% women. I said, sign me the F up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's exactly why I went. 88% women. God damn, it was a good-looking school, dude. Didn't help me out at all, but yeah, fun to look at. Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, first-time caller, long-time listener.
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, I saw you guys at the Black Raven a couple weeks back.
Nice. Thanks for stopping by, man. That was a good time.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. So, yeah,
Hello.
Hello. You still there?
So, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Bitches.
That's the radio.
Hey,
We need you to turn the radio down.
Welcome to the show, man.
Turn the radio down.
I'm putting it back on. We'll get to him in a minute.
Right. He'll
we'll let
figure
him
it out in a second.
You'll hear in about a minute. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
All right, so mine is... I actually have both sides of the coin for you. I've been pulled over more than 6 times, all for different reasons.
All for different reasons?
What?
For different reasons.
Yeah, so I got pulled over for speeding on the Aurora Bridge because I was green sick coming home from college.
All right.
Let's see here. I got pulled over for a noise ordinance in Shoreline. I got pulled over for, what was the other one? Oh, reckless driving and racing.
All right.
I'm blanking on the other 2.
That's all right, though. I like that you run the gamut. If I'm a cop, it says, okay, you've been pulled over. Hey, thanks for mixing it up. It's not like you're a chronic speeder. You're not always loud. You're not always this.
Does that make your insurance go through the roof?
Oh, no, not at all. I only so I ended up getting the reckless driving racing down to negligent in the 2nd degree.
Nice.
So that was good considering I was going 130 in my Volvo racing a Subaru.
Damn.
The other one was I got pulled over for suspicion of DUI when I was leaving work in Marysville because my work got out at 1:30 right next to the highest DUI bar in the county.
Okay.
So apparently my headlight was flickering. So they pulled me over and I have a stutter, and they asked me a bunch of questions. Well, I stutter more when I'm under pressure, so they immediately think I'm a drunk. We use fingerprint to scan in and out of work. So biometrically, I was at work perfectly fine. The other 2 guys in the car were like, yeah, no, we're going from work. They're like, nope, come on, pop on out. So I had to do the whole line test, the eye test, all that. They're like, get your headlight fixed. I'm like, all right, cool.
How old were you?
Like 24, 25?
Yeah, I was like in my early 20s, the old studio throw when I first started working with you in Towson. And like when I would get off at midnight, same thing. I had like a headlight out I got pulled over a few times in like 2 weeks.
I think I remember you bringing that up.
But just the same thing. When you're that age at midnight, that's prime time. If there's any reason to pull you over, they're going to pull you over.
And keep in mind, I guess you were living in Charles Village at that time.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, from our work to where Ted lived at the time, you go by one of the major college campuses in Maryland.
Yeah.
And then where Ted lives is surrounded by Johns Hopkins University, and a few others. So, right, you were in the college zone.
Right. I had a guy. I was doing the morning show, so I'm going to work at 3 o'clock and driving up on an interstate in Baltimore. Get pulled over one morning. I have my Dunkin' Donuts coffee already. I'm ready to rock. And guy comes at the window, and I tell him, like, hey, man, I am going to work. He's like, you're going to work. He's like, most people working overnight. He's like,
Right.
What are you doing? I'm like, well, I work in radio, but I got to be there, and for a couple hours before the show. And he's like, okay, all right. Yeah, lets me go. That doesn't question. Very nice guy. Next week, I get pulled over again. This is a different cop.
Okay.
Go through the same rigmarole. About 2 weeks later, I get pulled over again. But this time it's the first cop. And he walks up to the window. I roll the window down. He looks at me and he's like, have a good day.
Right.
And I mean, I'm just like, yeah, it's the time. Some bars close at 2. So people getting off or leaving the bar. Or
But
leaving
even
the
at 2 or 3, you have a better, like, I could be wrong, but I feel like statistically, the highest number, like DUI, it's like 11, is it like 10 to 1 or 11 to 2?
Yeah, it's not after bars
It's not
close.
after they close. It's that time where people are drinking a ton and then go,
I need to get home.
Yeah, I need to get home, or I think I'm okay. So yeah, leaving Towson at midnight was brutal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're driving through nothing but college campuses, essentially, where everyone is hammered and drunk and loud and partying.
Yeah, and truthfully, there was something wrong with either my tag or something. Like, there was always some reason, but yeah, that's why, I mean, I tell people all the time, you might, like, you're hopefully doing nothing wrong. Hopefully you have not been drinking and driving, but like, keep your tags up to date, check your taillights, check your headlights.
Actually, we got popped on that. When my wife first moved out here, she had the Pennsylvania tags on her car coming from Pennsylvania. No big deal, but I can't remember how long it is now, but after you are a resident of Washington State, and maybe it's federal, maybe it's state by state, I don't know, but you have a certain amount of time before you need to update. You're a resident here, get Washington plates. So cop pulls us over. This is when we lived in Belltown. He pulled us over half a block from the parking garage we're going to go in. Do you know why I pulled you over? Like, we have no idea. Definitely not speeding, nothing like that. And he goes, hey, man, the tag on the back of the car, it's registered in Pennsylvania, but because of how old it is, do you guys live here? Yeah. And so we tried to play it off like, oh, man, you're absolutely right. We just forgot to do it. So he kind of looks at us and he goes, how long have you been in Seattle? I'm like, ooh. Because we realize he's testing us now, but we don't know. So I think we hazard 6 months. He goes, it's 3 months. We're like, damn it. He's like, nice try. He's going to let you go. But he just kind of gave us a warning. Whatever. Oh, no, he gave us a ticket. It's like $640, dude. This is not a cheap ticket at all. Kind of pissed, but I'm like, whatever. That's on us. Let's get it taken care of. I thought my wife was going to get it taken care of. About 2 weeks later, she calls me. She's like, you're not going to believe this. Got pulled over again for the tag. It's another $650. I'm like, we just gave the state 13. I'm like, change the effing tag. That's when we finally got it.
Well, you got to remember, she lived in Maryland for 5 years before that without changing the tag.
Maryland don't care.
That's what I mean.
Maryland
It's just
doesn't
different
care. They're
states.
like, whatever, man.
Depends on where you move.
Yep.
Good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys, I don't know what happened. My phone is connected in the car. But anyway, yes, I used to have a bad habit of dining and dashing.
Oh, my God. Well, how old were you?
Happen to you.
That did happen to you.
That happened to the restaurant.
Thank you.
But how old were you during your dine and dash times?
I think I got started probably about 16, 17, something like that.
All right. I mean, look,
When
if
I
you're
had my
going
own-
to do it, that's about the age where you go like, look, guys, it's not a good idea, but we understand at that age you think it's funny.
Were you on foot or were you driving?
Well, had to have a car, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, typically you park it around the block and run.
If you're going to do the dine and
Yes.
dash.
Very, very true. Yeah. Dash out the door in the cleats or the sneakers, and then run to the car. But yeah, the two most memorable ones, I guess, take the cream. So the first one, I was 19. Had some buddies from high school that got an apartment in Spokane, and we were all over there drinking some beer. There was probably 8 of us or something like that. And, back when you're 19 and you got your first apartment, there's no food in the fridge.
Yeah, guaranteed. There's beer, but there's no food.
Condiments.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody was getting hungry, but nobody had any money. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to run down to Denny's and get some food, and I'll bring some back. And so I went down to Denny's with a friend of mine. He drove me down. Of course, he parked around the block, and he was sleeping when I came back. But I sat down, they seated me, and I got the menu, and I said, I'm working at Kaiser Aluminum, the night shift over here at the plant. here for a quick dinner, and I got some friends back there at the plant that want some, they want me to bring some food back to them. And so they said, yeah, no problem. So I ordered something on the menu, and they brought it to me, and I said, yeah, maybe in about 5 or 10 minutes I'll place about 6 or 7 more orders to go. And so I finished my food. She came over, and she took my order for 6 or 7 to-go plates, breakfast and burgers and whatever else, and she brought the styrofoam things, and, it was, halfway to the ceiling, and then there was only a couple people in the restaurant, and I kind of just waited for everybody to go into the back kitchen, and I just got up and kind of moseyed on out the door, and I had to use my back to open the door, and then took off down the street around the block.
That's a lot of food, right?
Yeah, kicked open the door, woke my buddy up who was sleeping behind the wheel, and said, go! And so we brought some food back for all the fellas.
Did you tell them that you dined and dashed?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
All right. What was your other time?
Yeah, I had to take credit for that, yeah. So the other time, I'm probably 22, 23, and I just met my wife recently, and we went on a weekend vacation down to Long Beach. And I think Friday night or Saturday night, we had reservations out at the Ark, out on the peninsula there, the tip there in Long Beach. And I wasn't planning on dining and dashing because when we gave them the reservation, I gave my last name. And so we checked in and got our table, and we had a bottle of wine and, a 3-4 course meal. And back then, you just carried cash. And so we we counted out what the bill was, and, it was 120, 130, something like that. And we put the money on the table, and we're chit-chatting, and, we finished the bottle of wine. I think we had some drinks before we got there, and my wife's like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. And she goes to the bathroom up by where you come in, and I kind of waited for a few minutes, and then I just kind of meandered. I picked the money up off the table and put it back in my pocket because the waiters and waitresses would come by, and they saw the money on the table, and they're like, oh, they're good. And so at the last minute, I don't know why I did it, but I picked up the money and put it in my pocket, walked towards the front door. She was just coming out of the bathroom, and she was drunk, and I had to help her and carry her out to the car. And I'm like, come on, honey, hurry. We got to go faster. And, we jumped in the car and went to the hotel room, and I didn't tell her till the next morning what I did. And thank goodness I did, because the next day we were out shopping in Long Beach, and they were looking for a Mercury Topaz because that's the car she had, but they knew my last name from the restaurant, and somehow they figured out who I was dating, and they were looking for her Mercury Topaz, but we were in my white Scirocco. And we pulled up to the general store, the merchandise store, like a tourist place, and we got out, and as soon as I climbed out of the car, there were 3 cops that just swarmed us, cop cars, with the lights on, and they had us come up. They had us come up to the to the front of the store, and they said, "So, are you so and so?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, we got some unfinished business out at the Ark," and I just kind of looked at him inquisitively, and he said, "Yeah, they that we've been looking for you since last night. We checked all the parking lots, but we were looking for your wife's car, not yours." And matter of fact, when I checked into the hotel the day before, I actually just for kicks and grins, I said my last name was Black instead of my real name. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But anyway, so he said, that you didn't pay your tab out at the Ark last night, and I looked at my girlfriend at the time, and she looked at me, and we just kind of played it off, and we said, no, she paid. And she said, no, I thought you paid. And I'm like, no, you had the money, you put it on the table. We played that game, and they bought it.
Really? Was that the last time you decided to dine and dash?
I think that was probably close to, yes. They hauled us out to the Ark. We had to pay our tab. They were trying to get us for Grand Theft Auto because it was over $75.
And was that, you just picked it up
Grand Theft, yeah.
I was going to say, did you pick it up just because you could?
I think I'd had a little bit to drink, and I was like, back then when you're 22 years old, you don't have a lot of money, and you're like, oh man, that's, $150 on the table. We can use that somewhere else, buy some gifts or whatever. And it was a split-second decision. I wasn't gonna, and I did. And yeah.
Now, is this your only illegal activity at this stage of your life?
No, I've done some other stuff.
Like what?
Oh, I was a hellion. I used to break into cars. I was a raging klepto. So I'd go into stores looking for stuff to steal. Not even just in my free time.
What do you do for a living now?
I work on wide format printers. I've been working on wide format printers.
I knew it.
Printers.
Okay, that was my exact guess.
Right.
Like probably wide format. Do you think Denny's? I'm just saying he brought up Denny's, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're across the country. I got to think Denny's more than any other restaurant chain probably has more dine and dashers.
I mean,
what
Denny's or
would
IHOP, just because those are the only two I know that are national everywhere.
Somehow I feel like at IHOP, I feel like there's more families in there. So, you know what I mean? For some reason, I feel like Denny's, we might go in there because we're drunk or whatever the case. Where I feel like IHOP still might go there because you're drunk, but there's always like kids around or something. But I feel like Denny's is probably like, dude, we have the record for the most dine and dash.
Good or bad, what's happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Recess recreated the cocktails you know and love, like a lime margarita and a grapefruit paloma, but without the alcohol. So you can enjoy the flavors and feelings of your favorite drinks without the hangover. Each lightly sparkling canned mocktail is infused with functional ingredients and made with real fruit, all with only 25 calories or less. So whether you're relaxing after work or hanging out with friends, Recess Zero Proof Craft Mocktails are a guilt-free way to unwind. Head to takearecess.com/mocktails now to get 15% off the Recess Mocktails Sampler Pack.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Jared Daly, Steve Mix from the Daily Mix Morning Show coming up. We're going to sit and spin. We've got the last songs performed by artists who died way too soon. In the meantime, our question, good or bad, what has happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Stacy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I have been physically hit by a car twice in my life.
Like you're not in a vehicle of your own. You're saying like as you're walking, you've been hit by a car.
Yep, as a pedestrian.
As a pedestrian. All right, what are the scenarios?
Okay, well, the first time I was just a little kid. It was right before kindergarten, and I had gotten a new dress to wear for the big day, and we had a longtime family friend that lived across the street named Cressy, and I put on my new dress, and I jumped on my tricycle, and I went zooming down the driveway to go across the street to show her my new dress. And in the meantime, we lived on a corner, and a gentleman turned the corner just as I came down the driveway. And my mom used to tell the story because she was doing the lunch dishes and watched the whole thing happen from the kitchen window, completely helpless to do anything to stop it.
How bad were your injuries?
Actually, I didn't get injured at all. I was screaming bloody murder because he ripped my dress. But luckily, he was going slow enough that the trike took the brunt of the impact.
Yeah, and those tricycles, believe it or not, probably one of the most solid bikes ever made.
Solid piece of steel.
I mean, those are heavy. I just remember picking them up, like bringing them into the car. I was like, golly.
Yeah.
What about the second time?
The second time, I was in high school, and I was playing football in the street with my brother and a couple of other friends, and we lived fairly close to the high school, and one of my brother's friends saw us and thought it would be fun to play chicken. And so instead of slowing down to give us time to get out of the street, he sped up. and I was literally in the middle of the street, and so there was a split second where I had to decide which way to run, and I ran in front of the car, and I literally had my right foot on the curb, but my back foot was extended, and he hit that back leg, and I went flying. And according to the story that he told, he was changing the 8-track in his car and didn't know that he had hit me.
That's what I would have said, too.
And his passenger had to say, hey, you just hit that girl. And so he turned around and came back. But by that time, my brother had picked me up and taken me into the house, and it was obvious that I was going to have to go to the hospital. So in his infinite wisdom, he ran back outside. The guy had come back. It was like, oh, my God, is she going to be okay? And my brother's like, oh, my dad's going to kill you, right? So the kid was scared, and he took off. So by the time I got to the hospital, there were cops there waiting for me, and that's hit and run. And, yeah, he got into all kinds of trouble.
I hope that was the last time you got hit by a moving vehicle.
It was, and I'm really trying to avoid the third time.
Okay.
So what happened to your left leg? Did he end up breaking the leg or what?
No, as luck would have it, it didn't break. It should have, because the way that it hit perpendicular to the bone, it just should have shattered it. But it cut all the way down to the main vein in my leg. So I just bled like a stuck pig.
Man, I hope I never cut my main vein.
I know, I was just thinking that.
You don't want to, because you'll bleed out pretty quick.
When you're a dude, when you're a guy, your main vein refers to something else entirely.
Yes, but
right.
It is not in your leg.
No! Good or bad, what happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
The car grazed me. It only hit my penis.
Man, I'm telling you.
It wasn't even that close to me.
You really.
You know what I'm saying, Doc?
You really got to be. You need to have your head on a swivel if you are driving in downtown Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely. People just wander into the street.
It was yesterday. I was like, man, I almost hit 3 different people this morning who just walked out into traffic on 5th.
Yep.
5th alone. One street within a span of 10 blocks. 3 people. One dude's just on his phone with a break. Just walk. I mean, and cars are zipping through there. And I'm like, this guy is a freaking idiot.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, just be careful if you're downtown, man.
And it's crazy because this city, more than any city in this country, is such a stickler about jaywalking.
Yeah.
Where the cops actually address you about it, which seems ridiculous, but they do. So that's what amazes me, that so many people just wander out into the street here. My good Lord, man. Come on.
Good or bad, what happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
It is odd, because also, I've been almost hit here more. Well, I've walked a lot more in the city, right? I've been here almost more than half my adult life.
Yeah.
But it is funny, yeah. People just, I don't know. It's like they're not paying attention.
Whether they're driving or walking.
My favorite, when I used to walk to work every day, is just sometimes you have the right of way, but it's a right-hand turn.
Yeah.
So people just don't look to the right. They just start looking to the left to see if they can make that right. And I mean, they will just, kind of come up quick or whatever. And my trick would always just knock on their window. Just startle them.
Come on, man.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Look both ways.
Right?
Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
First, I gotta say, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well,
Hello, the Black Raven Brewing Company. It was good to talk to you guys.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, I've been in more vehicle collisions than the average person. It's kind of topical what you guys are just talking about. I've been in 9 collisions.
How old are you?
40.
Okay. All right. Were they mostly your fault?
Only 3 of them were technically my fault.
Only 3.
Within those 9, I have totaled 3 cars.
Damn. All right.
The first one happened when I was 18. I had just gotten a car, and I remember the date. It was October 30th, 2001. It was like about a month or 2 after 9/11. And it was the day before Halloween, but I was just going to school, and it was the first rain after a while, and so, yeah, I didn't know, but the roads were pretty slick, and so I'm going through this kind of windy neighborhood, and I feel the back wheels slip out from behind me, and I overcorrect, and I end up, spinning my car all the way around, and they embed across the road in some shrubbery, and cedar plank fence.
What was the last one?
The most recent one?
Yeah.
So we're bookending with a totaled car and another totaled car. The last one was dumb. It was my fault. It was it's just going southbound on 405, and it's right there by Canyon Park. I know the traffic slows down. I just wasn't paying attention, and rear-ended somebody, totaled my car.
How fast were you going? Full speed?
Yeah, I was going with the flow of traffic. It's just, if you've ever been there, right? It's a phenomenon. It's crazy. Almost any time of the day, right there at Canyon Park, like the traffic slows down, and if you don't know, it really catches you off guard.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like taking not James, right? Take James to get off here, but the exit before that, down here in downtown.
George?
No, maybe it's University.
I think it is University.
But that same thing, like you're coming off I-5, but that there's accidents down there constantly.
All the time.
But like, kind of like he's saying, like, I don't know, like everybody knows there's accidents all the time, but people still come off that thing super fast because
you're
my buddy's,
going into and there's a light at the end of it, and people are still going like 65 when they get off of this thing.
Right, and like my buddy's office is right there, and he's like, dude, I can't tell you how many days a week you just hear somebody get rear-ended and stuff, and it's like, yeah, like I feel like people get off exit ramps or whatever, even though they know, like they just don't want to slow down.
You don't want to slow, but again, you are now officially in downtown. There are traffic lights and people, and like I said, there's accident there all the time, and that's why.
Good or bad? What's happening more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
I like this text. It says, I've been stabbed 3 times. The first time I was in 8th grade, and I'd gotten really fat over the summer, and a bully wanted to see if I would pop like a balloon if he stabbed me. The second time I was in California, one of my friends, he was being robbed, and to prevent them from taking everything, I refused to hand over some of my stuff, which led to me getting stabbed in my stomach. And then the third time was actually an accident. Somebody inadvertently stabbed me in the arm with a kitchen knife, and because they were talking, but they moved their hands to talk.
Hey, manja.
3 times. Good Lord, man.
Good or bad? What happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, knives. Like, if you talk with your hands, take the knife out of your hand.
Take the knife out of your hand, yeah. Hello, Debbie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, when I was 16 to 20, I was basically a gigolo.
And for real?
And, yes, a gigolo.
All right. You got paid to have sex?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It wasn't all just money, but in favors as well. But, you know, it was an interesting time in my life.
It was a barter system.
Yeah. And, well, I ended up getting chlamydia twice. Both times I don't remember who exactly had given it to me because there was a bit too many. My wife likes to say that I slept with half of Kent.
Does she like to say that, or do you like to say that?
Oh, she likes to say that. It's a little joke because of what my past used to be. But the meds that they give you to get rid of chlamydia make you sensitive to sunlight, your skin, your eyes, everything. And since I was on it twice, it has permanently affected me to where I am basically a vampire.
You can't deal with light at all.
Oh, it's painful.
Well, you're living in the right place.
Yeah, okay.
How much did you charge?
It was, like I said, like you said, it was a barter system, but, you know, $20-$30 a night, plus your, you know, taxi fee and everything, and a dinner, so...
Did you start this on your own?
Yeah, how does one get into this business?
Like, did someone walk up to you at a bar and say, hey, man, you want to make some side cash?
No, it was just, it started off with me just basically, you know, getting with a chick, and she really wasn't going to date me, but she wanted to have some fun, and then passed along to her friend, and just continued on from there.
Damn.
How many women would you say that you were dating at one time?
At one time? I'm not dating, but 6.
All right. Okay. Any favorites out of the 6?
No, none of them were quite good.
All right.
That's why they're paying you.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I wish I'd fallen into that trap.
I think that's the second person we've ever had call. I mean, not that, but we had one person officially call and said that they were an actual gigolo.
Yeah, like this is, I don't want to say they were current, right? Like this is what I currently do.
So, yeah. But they were high end.
No, well, of course.
It's a high dollar. Yeah. Good or bad, what's happening more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, I couldn't afford them. Hello, Laura. Welcome to the men's room.
Well, thank you. I've been listening a long time, even though I'm the wrong gender, I think.
Hola. No, you're good.
You're fine.
You're perfect.
Anybody can listen.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I was arrested twice in a week for trafficking cocaine across international borders.
Jeez, sweet, man. Go big or go big or go home.
That's what both arrests were for?
Yeah, if you're going to do it, do it.
Yeah.
So I was in college, and I came home one night, and there was someone in my apartment, and I figured it out. I heard something, and I was, I was a college kid. I was like, I'm going to go outside. And so I did. I ran outside to the payphone and called 911. And so whomever was in there stole my purse. I didn't have anything else. And about a week later, I get a couple cops showing up, and they're like, hey, are you Laura? Do you go to PIT? And I was like, yeah, do I know you from school? And they're like, no, you're under arrest for trafficking cocaine across international borders. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And so it's the Phoenix police, and this woman had stolen my ID, trafficked cocaine. Somehow they got the ID, assumed I was her, because they arrested somebody or other that had this ID on them. So they came looking for me. Of course, my address was on my ID. And so I explained the whole thing, and they called the police up where my parents live. And the woman was like, she had to have been 25 years older than me and blonde, and I'm a brunette. Like, we look nothing alike, And so we get it worked out, takes hours. And I remember I called my mom, and I told her what was going on, and she goes, Laura.
Right.
I think I didn't do it. Like, I just assumed I had done this thing. I'm like, oh, my God. So I told the guys, they were undercover cops, obviously. So I told the guys, I said, if you had a little pickup truck or something, you would have been, like, no one would ever have known. But they were in, like, a cruiser-looking car, not a cop cruiser, but, inappropriately cruisery. And a week later, I'm out by the pool, and a couple guys come out. They get out of a truck. I see them in the parking lot. They got Bermuda shorts on, and the guy comes out, and he goes, are you Laura? And I said, are you undercover? He just went, what? And it was the Tempe police coming to get me. Same charges. And at that point, I was just like, hey, you know what? Just call Phoenix. Yeah. So they did. It didn't take as long. Didn't take hours that time. But, yeah, those are the two times the police came to get me for trafficking cocaine across international borders.
When did you know that officially they were going to stop bugging you about this?
I did not know ever. I would say when another month or so passed, and nobody had come for me at school or at home or at work or anything.
Were you?
When I was like, all right.
Were you ever able to get your bag back, your purse?
No.
That's evidence, right? That's gone.
Yes, they gave me my ID back after a while, but everything else was just gone.
Well, you know what they did with that ID?
What?
They cut their coke up with it.
Perfect.
They railed it up.
All right. I should have been thinking about that.
How worried were you about actually going to prison the first time when these guys show up?
Oh, I was terrified. I think I was 18 years old. I was just mortified. I was like, I was robbed. That's not me. They took my ID. I freaked out.
Look,
the second time, I was just non-pulse.
Yeah, if I'm a cop, I mean, for the most part, you're 18 years old. I don't think you can afford the cocaine habit, even if you are a dealer.
But if you're trafficking, that's true. Somebody gave it to you.
And you said Tempe police?
Yeah, Tempe.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past an 18-year-old hot chick at ASU to be trafficking cocaine.
Not at all.
Right?
I mean, look, man.
That's the perfect mule.
If I'm dealing out of Mexico, that would be who I want to traffic cocaine.
Right, you got to get it to the college kids.
Like, don't give it to me because cops already shake me down. Anyway, like, I'm the last guy you want as a dude.
I'm going to sell it to the guys from Jersey right here.
I mean, seriously, like, again, I watch a lot of those airport, smuggling shows. Yeah. But, like, there's a lot of old people and stuff getting caught from these source countries because they're broke, they don't have money, and the cartels don't think they'll check the old people, but they're getting caught and they still got to do time.
I mean, look, in this studio, right? You're trying to move 100 kilos. Who are you giving it to get to the airport?
Oh, Mike.
Mike. There's no doubt about it. You look the least suspicious. Honestly, I would never give it to me. Like, are you kidding me?
Doesn't that make me the most suspicious, though? Dude, you think you would have to not tell me if I was doing it?
I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So you don't want to travel with me.
You'd have to hide it somewhere on me because if I knew, it would be all over my face.
So what would you
that's my
say?
issue. I would be dripping buckets of sweat.
Yes.
Oh, we wouldn't tell you. So if we travel together and the cops pull you aside, you can at least just point directly at me and be like, sir, I can promise you these are his drugs.
That's what happened to that guy on Diddy's plane, man. He was muling. So,
24,
25-year-old guy. Either way, he was the only person on this airplane that had drugs in one bag.
He had a small amount.
He had a small
I feel like we're throwing around the word mule a lot for that guy. He had like a trace amount of cocaine and a weed candy, which in Florida is illegal.
Yeah, that's not the worst.
Everything in Florida has traces of cocaine.
I just figured
you go to the Welcome to Florida sign, lick it, and probably get high.
Isn't that the whole point of getting a private jet? Because the money you're going to make from the drugs and pay for it?
Right.
And it's rare, but in cases like this, they will stop the jet and actually search it.
Yeah.
And it happens here and there, but generally that's kind of the point. I mean, hell, that's the famous line from Entourage. When they're, it's like second or third season, they're running low on money or something, and they're like, Vinny, why are we taking a private jet to New York to film this? And he's like, how are we going to get the dog and the weed there?
Good or bad, what happened to you more than once? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dave. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, just enjoying it, man. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm living someone else's dream.
Nice.
Hope it's a good one.
Well, yeah, mine. Fortunately, they stem from many years ago, but I had a realm of alcohol-induced driving, so I've had multiple DUIs in a very short-term span. I would say I've gotten 4 within a 3-year span.
Is that recently or back in the day?
No, back in the day. Thank God. I couldn't do it these days, man. It's not the same as it was back in the day.
I should say your ass would be in jail for a while.
Oh, for a while. Yeah, we're talking back in the late 80s.
Okay. Yeah. Oddly enough, somewhat lenient on the drunk driving thing back then.
That's kind of when they started cracking down.
Well, it's crazy to me because you read about guys that this is their 13th DUI. I'm like, how is this possible?
Now, does that leave anything on your record even through the years?
Not anymore. Thank God, not anymore.
How long?
I got 2 within 30 days one time.
Jesus. How long before that finally disappeared off your record?
10 years.
10 years.
Were you living in a small town?
Yeah, back in Illinois.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean,
I guess that kind of helps.
They know your car. They know your. They know your 11:45 at night. They pulled you over before. Right. They have a pretty good idea,
There was a point that I drove multiple cars at multiple times because, I'm from a small town. They drive by me, see that I was driving, knew I had a revoked driver's license, knew I wasn't supposed to be driving. Still had to get to work, so I would sell that car and buy me another beat-up piece of junk and keep driving.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the problem with a small town. If you're up, that's because I'm always up to no good. So, I would not do well in a small town. Big cities are good for me.
Right. If you're going to get a speeding ticket, it's going to be a small town where it's going to be a small town in Washington. It's going to be like, you ain't around here.
And it does help nowadays. Like the Ubers are easier. Like I always took cabs as long as I lived in Seattle. But there was some nights I remember you're just kind of at an address. You're just waiting. And you would wait a long time and call back like, these are the cross streets. So it's gotten thankfully more convenient and easier for people, and you have less excuse. Right. But you're right. In those small towns, it's just I don't know. Drink at home. Drink in your backyard.
Last songs performed by artists who died way too soon coming up. We will sit and spin. And emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G, with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries. And in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries. And in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia's Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Last songs that artists performed live before they died way too soon. Coming up with Sit and Spin. But first time for a few emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
A couple from our question, good or bad, what's happening more than once? Guys, I worked security in downtown Salt Lake City for 3 years. One gentleman who used to have a pretty bad habit of smoking spice in the stairwell before proceeding to give himself a little pleasure. We caught him on 4 separate occasions. Every occasion, he'd become aggressive, get dragged out on his stomach by either ourselves or the police. Then the next week, he'd be right back doing the exact same thing in the exact same stairwell. He did this once a week for 4 weeks before we finally saw the pattern there. Good times. That from Nathan. What else do we have here? Guys. Howdy, gents. Marriage has happened more than once, not only to me, but also to my wife, Amy. Both have been married 4 separate times. I am her 4th husband. She is my 4th wife, which works out in her favor. Her favorite numbers are 4 and 8. Thanks for reading the email. That from the Elk Plain Drifter. As we move on to the emails. Guys, I want to give a big birthday shout out to my wonderful wife, Kelsey. She was raised on KISW. All right. Can she get an OG fish sandwich, a bong rip, and the Dirty Germans for her last year in her 20s? Thanks, guys. That from the House of Russell Rockers.
2 Oregon fish sandwich.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the old Deutschland poem that goes something like this. In the last year of your 20s, get D aplenty.
Yeah. So make sure you try all the different sizes, the shapes, and the colors of the rainbow. Or you could go old school and just watch a film in black and white.
Joel, please give my big bro Eric some birthday love. He's 37. How about Coach Ted giving him some advice on how to celebrate while being on call today as an electrician? Maybe some dad jokes from Miles and a fart or two. Thanks, guys. You rock. That from Elliot.
All right, 37. Well, I hate to tell you, Coach has just serious advice for you. If you're on call as an electrician, I'm assuming that's on call for the company, so we're going to have to wait. But that's okay. Not every time. You don't have to go crazy on the actual birthday. Just wait till the weekend. Then you could say it's my birthday weekend and use that. You have a great excuse to have a birthday weekend because you were on call during your actual birthday. But the last thing you want to do is be out having fun and have to go to work.
Yeah, right. All right, Eric, couple dad jokes. Did you guys know that not everyone thought that Cleopatra was beautiful?
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, but that's how Julius Caesar. What do you call a piece of corn in the military?
What do you call a piece of corn in the military?
Colonel.
Yeah.
What are dog biscuits made of?
Dogs?
Cauliflower. And to be honest, 9 months, that's really not that long, but for some, it is a maternity. Guys, want to send a big 45th happy birthday to my husband, Chris. He's been listening to you guys since the Buzz days. But since I forced him to Nevada, he keeps us using the Odyssey app. So thanks for braving Reno with me. We'll be back in Washington soon, hopefully, before you have to suffer another summer. So some green beans and you guys talking all over yourselves about how rad it is to live in the great state of Washington. Thanks, guys. That from Katie and baby Hugo.
Green bean.
What?
Green bean.
Okay.
Green bean.
Actually, as far as
Washington, I think a lot of it is based on the fact that you're living in Reno. I think that has a lot to do with man. I'll be honest with you. Djibouti, it would not be as bad as having to live in Reno. Like a third world country within the United States itself.
And, you know.
Hold the potatoes. I have successfully completed 49 rotations around the sun today. How about a Joey Chestnut, a Leroy Jenkins, and the Dirty Germans talking about how I'm going to get some naughty time tonight. Thank you, guys. That from the old man without a plan, Craig.
Chestnut.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're getting some naughty time tonight for your birthday. I just hope that it's more than just you.
Yeah. You also find out if she was ever a sailor.
Gentlemen, please wish Sue the happiest 64th birthday ever. Cheers to a great 65th ahead. Give her some green beans. Love your show, guys.
Green bean.
What?
Green bean.
Okay.
Green
And one more for the birthdays. But Joel, as my brother and I want to give a shout out to our dad for his 65th. He's been there for us through thick and thin, has been a fantastic role model. Could have asked for a better father. Love you, Dad. And I hope you have a kick-ass day. Let's see here. How about some thrill shotgun gets? And what else? Talking all over yourselves about the joys of being retired and being able to travel. That from his sons, Jesse and Ryan. Thanks, guys, and keep on rocking. Get. All right, the joys of retirement.
I can imagine right now.
I'd wake up every morning and run one out.
No idea what it is, and the good news is maybe never actually freaking matters. It means absolutely every day is a vacation for them.
It's also, real quick, it's also my old man's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you know how old he is?
61.
61. All right.
Oh, what should we give him?
Your penis is too small.
There you go.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Yes, friends, it's time once again for Sit and Spin. Let's gather around the old radio and listen to some swellerific new music.
Oh, look who it is. Tara Daly. Steve Mix from the Daily Mix Morning Show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's happening?
Oh, I like your shirt. It has a bird on it. I'm also wearing a shirt with
This
birds.
is a Black Raven IPA shirt.
And mine
Men's
is a chicken shirt, just a collection of chickens.
Ted, where's your bird shirt? I got a Mickey Ward shirt, like a loser.
I bet my Raven can eat all your chickens.
You're probably right.
Yes.
Those roosters are tough.
And they got T-Rex DNA.
Yeah.
That's fact. Yeah. Do you think a T-Rex would be disappointed if you could bring it back, and say, hey, these are your descendants?
Yes.
Like, seriously, chickens. Like, that's what you got, man?
Yes, they're delicious.
Wrong. You were cool in the movie. Now we eat you.
Would you eat a T-Rex arm? You know what I mean? Delicious.
Meanwhile, don't mess with geese.
No, geese.
Speaking of arms, how's the kid?
Tatum, next week, cast comes off, baby.
All right.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Okay.
It's going to be nice, like getting bonked in the head when we're lying on the couch with just crushing the head. But, dude, she loves geese until she got close to one, and then she doesn't love geese anymore.
That's all it takes.
Dude, they're vicious.
They suck. Remember running from them in Portland? Did you? You were there with me.
I wasn't sober.
No, you were not sober
I
at
don't
all.
remember this at all.
You don't remember
this.
attacking the geese?
It was like 3:30 in the morning, and we decided just to approach the geese. Now, we were tripping, dude, but
you ran down the hill.
And then these things came after us, and we took off running.
Because I think you guys were just at the fountain swimming.
Yes. Well, we were staring at the water.
Yeah.
Right.
This doesn't sound normal.
Don't look at me. I cashed out by this point.
You don't remember this.
I remember not getting into the bars because Ted didn't have his ID.
Correct.
So then we went off to go look at the water at the fountain.
And then we thought it'd be cool, like, let's go mess with these geese. And then, like, two of them turned around.
There's a 5-hour gap in between all this. God damn.
Little Papa shot going
Man,
on.
you can't help. You don't remember a story for us, but you can't be like, oh yeah, it all happened that quickly.
I don't remember any of the geese.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Did they get us?
No, we hauled ass, bro. Like, we seriously, man, we were trucking.
You showed them. You're superior
Damn right.
as a species.
I never wanted to relive this moment more than right now. Can we go back to Portland and make this happen again?
Taryn, I said we should rent. They had bicycles down there that you could rent like they'd have all over Seattle now. So we should rent some of those bicycles. And Steve says, no, we can't do that. And I said, why not? He says, because we'll drown.
It made sense to me.
And I looked at him
I was
like,
going to ride into the water.
What world have you just entered? I said, do you want to rent a bicycle? And his response is, no, we'll drown. Okay. Anyway.
How is it that we're able to just function in society after
I
hearing
don't
some
know.
of these stories?
I do not know.
Somehow we still pay our bills.
Yes. Okay, so today on Sit and Spin, it's a little morbid, but we have the last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon. Now, what I'm assuming is that all of these songs are what the band closed the show with on their last tour,
or they just walked off stage.
Yeah, they're not done. They didn't do a one-off.
Good enough.
Play this on the Tonight Show or anything like that.
This is like encore, like top of the list songs.
Okay.
I feel.
Or a member had a meltdown and walked off the stage.
Yeah, could have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So these are the last songs performed by rockers.
I think I know Cobain's. It's dark.
Okay, we're going to find out if he's on the list.
Number 10.
All right.
I had a ticket to Tom Petty's, what ended up being his last tour, but I had to go to a wedding instead, and I didn't go.
I can't believe I missed that show.
I kick myself all the time.
The problem is, Thrill and I talk about it all the time. He came every summer to the court. So it was always like, we'll just go next summer.
It's like Springsteen. It's like, oh, I'll see him next time. I don't want to go on a Thursday night.
Yeah. And then when he died, I was
exactly what we said.
Damn it.
Yep.
These are the last songs performed by rockers who died too soon.
Number 9. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out.
I've learned a lot about Steve Miggs these past couple of months. I know that this is a song off of his favorite Linkin Park album.
Minutes to Midnight. I know most people are on Meteor or Hybrid Theory, but man, no, Minutes to Midnight.
Well, not to do this to the guy, but I mean, he also did a last song with Stone Temple Pilots.
That's true.
You're right.
Both of those bands, yeah. These are the last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 8.
So good. This one kills me the most, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Cornell, that's the one that crushed me. Absolutely crushed me.
I'm pretty sure.
Did you guys get to see Soundgarden the last time they came to town?
Yeah.
That was such a great show.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that we get to saw Temple the dog. I mean, we had a lot of good run there, man.
And then right after the show, those geese attacked us. It was bonkers.
Last song performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 7.
I'm actually surprised that this is their closing song.
Yeah, that surprises me a little bit.
You know what I
as well.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a great song, but I never would picture this one being like the last song that they play before their show is over.
Do we know for a fact that Scott Weiland did not have a meltdown and walk off the stage?
No.
Of all the artists, I feel like this could be the one.
This would be the guy.
You played with the band. You should have the answers to these questions.
I was on their
In
Wikipedia
theory.
page for like
Yes.
a half a minute. Somebody put me as a former member of the band.
Did you actually?
I was on Wikipedia. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I played one song.
Scott Weiland's another one where, like, I saw him 2 or 3 times, thought he was awesome. I've also heard people been like, yeah, I saw him. It was the worst performance I've ever seen.
He was good with Velvet Revolver.
I think it just depended on the night.
Yep.
These are the last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 6.
I taught my kid how to do the horns up
Devil horns.
the other day.
Yeah.
He got it.
You know, we interviewed him and asked him about it, and he goes, man, honest to God, it comes to represent heavy metal rock and roll now. It's like, I got it from my grandmother because she would do that when she was mad at you. She wouldn't cuss, but it was kind of like her version of sign language for cussing. So you do something bad, and she'd throw up the devil horns at like him and his brothers and stuff when they were younger. We're like, so this big rock and roll moment is your grandmother. He's like, yeah. You don't want to tell people that, but there it is.
That makes it extra metal.
I swear to God, every single day when I had to walk in the studio and Rickard was on the air middays, he would have Leonard on the phone, and Leonard would request this song
every time,
every single day. When I hear the song,
Without
the only thing
I think of Leonard.
about is Leonard,
Which is unbelievable.
It drives me nuts that that's my thought.
And I don't know if this is weird to anybody, but we talked to this guy we know named Warren, all right? And so I think it was Warren. Anyway, this dude was a neighbor of Ronnie James Dio. And we're like, what's that like? He goes, look, he's just a normal dude. So he says, I just remember I'm pulling into my driveway, and Ronnie James Dio was mowing his lawn. He's wearing jorts.
Yeah.
And, like, he just kind of waves to him. And he's like, I don't know, something about Ronnie James Dio wearing cut-off jean shorts. He's like, it just kind of blows your mind.
He had the legs for it, I bet.
These are the last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 5.
This song does not get old to me. No, some songs you get sick of. I'm like, this tune, I'm like, no, every time it's on, like, turn it up.
Just especially that chorus, man. When it all
It's so
kicks in. I never got to see Lane, though, with Alice in Chains.
I did. I got lucky and saw him at Lollapalooza years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's where I saw him. And it was an awesome show.
My favorite moment with this song was when they got back together for that tsunami benefit show that happened at it's now the Showbox Soto. And they brought up a revolving door of different singers, and they brought up Maynard James Keenan to sing this song with them.
Really?
Dude, I'm not joking. When they hit that Jesus Christ chorus part, if you did not have goosebumps, you had tears in your eyes. Like, you look around the whole room.
That awesome.
It was just like this celebration. Like, holy crap, Alice in Chains is playing together again, and that's freaking Maynard singing this song. It was amazing.
Last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon on Sittin's Bed.
Number 4.
All right. I thought it was going to be the one from Unplugged.
God.
That sounds like, it's terrible.
Where'd You Sleep Last Night one? Or My Girl?
Yeah.
I don't think they played anything from Unplugged other than the Unplugged, right? Because MTV asked them to do Unplugged. They said, look, man, none of our songs translate to this, so that's what they played all those covers.
I think About a Girl, they did that.
Did they? Okay.
That was very good. But then, it was like Meat Puppets covers and random songs as well.
David Bowie song.
Yep. With the accordion.
Right. These are the last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 3.
We also died.
Cliff Burton just dripping in a tuxedo, a Canadian tuxedo.
With the bell bottoms.
Yes.
Canadian tuxedo.
You a big Cliff Burton fan, Thrill? You being a bassist?
I was actually one of my best friends. I met him. School just started. He is listening to Metallica on a Walkman as it was back in the day, and he's just banging his head. Right? So, dude, you listen to Metallica? He's like, yeah. What's it to you? I said, I'm just asking, like Metallica, did you hear that Cliff Burton died? He's like, bull ass. I said, I swear to God, Cliff Burton died. Now, this is pre-cell phone. So the school day has not started. This is homeroom. It's like, you got a quarter? I'm like, yeah. Give him a quarter. He disappeared all day. Anyway, when I see him at the end of the school day, he's like, yeah, I went out to make a phone call. That's why I wanted the quarter. I called around, talked to a guy that confirmed that, in fact, Cliff Burton had died. I'm like, so you missed an entire day of school? Yeah, what's it to you? So, no problem. We were best friends after that. By the way, do you know how he actually died? The worst part about this, right?
I know it was a van accident, right? I thought it was underneath the bus.
Yeah, right.
Sweden, I believe.
And he went through the window. And the bus fell on top of him. They get the rest of the band out. He's still alive. So they bring him like a crane or tow truck, whatever you do, to lift the thing. It slipped out of the coupling and fell back on him. He was alive, but don't laugh.
I'm not trying to laugh. It's funny.
So think about this. He went through the window and the bus landed on him. They get the rest of the band out there watching. They're like, Cliff, you're going to be all right. They start lifting this thing up. That thing slips out and drops back on his ass, and that's what killed him.
I could have gone my whole life without knowing that.
I know, dude.
I don't know if I need to know that.
I'm sorry. The first time I heard it, I was like, what? Yeah.
Terrence, my entire day thrill.
It's terrible. I know, man.
Terrence got chickens on her shirt.
Yay!
They're related to the T-Rex.
Number 2.
Randy Rhoads, arguably one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
It's like, wait a minute, how's he still alive?
Randy Rhoads. Okay, we're playing Black Sabbath, and I'm like,
do I need a quarter?
I know Ozzy's still alive, right?
I'll leave for the day and find out.
Migs, grab a quarter. Confirm this.
Bro, do you have the intimate details of Randy Rhoads' death?
He was on like a crop duster plane.
Yes, this is even more.
I know it.
God.
No. Have you heard this?
Yes.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, well, you're going to hear it.
Look, chickens.
So he's not the pilot, but it's just him and the pilot on the plane, like a crop duster. Ozzy's on the tour bus, back to a tour bus. They want to buzz the tour bus just to F with Ozzy. I believe they clipped the bus. Anyway, the plane crashes, and that's how he died.
It's true.
So once again, Ozzy was there to see that. Metallica saw their boy go down. Like, these are not awesome stories, man.
But the last song he played was Paranoid.
That's right.
Last songs performed by rockers who died way too soon.
Number 1.
All right, go ahead and tell her. What did he choke on?
So we're doing a plane, like, I don't know. Are we going to talk about the Big Bopper and Frankie Valli?
You know how John Bonham died, right?
John Bonham. Was it? No, he got pissed drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he choke on his puke, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he choked on his own vomit.
Damn.
Yes. They're not sure whose vomit it was. It's kind of hard to
Robert
ID
Plant's
from vomit.
But let me bring the room up a minute. Whole Lot of
Chickens.
Love is reportedly the best tempo to make love. So next time you're making love,
Don't
just
think
put that
about
song
John
in your
Bonham
head.
choking.
Do that song.
Maybe for what you like. You know. You guys have Black Crowes and Breaking Benjamin and Stain tickets on the program.
I don't feel very sexual after hearing about Metallica. I don't think I'm going to have sex for the next year.
This is the rhythm that I like.
Yeah.
I mean, popular rhythm.
Crank it up.
You ready to make love? We gonna do it or what? I got a whole lot of it. Shot of the day is coming up. Thank you, guys. You're listening to The Men's Room.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again.
Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up next, we'll drink a toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hogg with some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. New research shows that influencers glamorizing motherhood on social media are making new moms miserable in real life.
I think new moms should be smart enough to know that the influencers are doing their influencer thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're a mom, you're especially a new mom, you're in the same situation as pretty much any other new mom, at least with regards to your kid, right? So the influencers, they spend everything's awesome. And look, I'm a parent, and if you ask me, I will tell you, and I mean it, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. You've never known love like this. If you say, well, what's the bad part? It would take me longer.
Well, and I agree with you on that, but it's also kind of the problem that we have with social media is that it's only showing you the best parts of everything, and especially with these influencers who are now cutting these videos. Basically, they are not just showing you the great parts of motherhood, but they're showing you just how easy it is for them. They're how they're able to just construct all these meals throughout the day, how they're able to take care of their kids and get everything done throughout the day, and also do their projects. And
oh yeah, they're lying.
They're absolutely
lying. Honestly, God, I do feel like if you're a parent and you see one of these, you're like, I love your editing. You did a great job, blah, blah, blah. There's no effing way that is how your world works. Right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are young, though, too.
Sure.
So it's just hard.
Right.
And there's people I respect in my life who, a few years ago were like, I had to get off Facebook. I found myself, and I'm like, you? And they're like, yeah. I mean, social media is still relatively newer. It's going to take a while to see kind of the psychological stuff that's going on.
Absolutely.
But, Thrill, I don't disagree with you, but I think it's just hard for people to realize, that's not real. And I mean, didn't one of the mommy influencers just go to prison for, terrible stuff she was doing to her kids?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's like, look, I do, if you're not a parent, or maybe if you're pregnant and you see this, you're going to believe something about it. It's all your parent friends. The truth of what they say is pretty much how it is.
Right. Yeah, and, look, motherhood, pregnancy, as I got older, I had enough friends with their family or just females I knew that lost children that it's just, unfortunately, it's common, but it just, I don't know how you bring it up. It's not spoken of, but it's very hard on women, and nobody talks about it. I don't know if they talk about it with each other, but it's all that stuff is just psychological warfare on women. It's very hard.
100%, dude. 2/3 of Americans grapple with guilt from going out to eat.
About what they ate or the money or just in general?
I think it's in general. I think it's a mixture of everything in there.
I could have cooked something, but I didn't. You can't do everything. No. Some nights you're like, you know what? I'm not cooking. I'm tired.
No, we were determined Sunday night we are going to make a good dinner. That's what we're going to do. That was the plan all day Sunday. Had to do a bunch of stuff with the kids. We did this, that, and the other. We get to about 6 o'clock, heaven sent chicken. Yep. Seriously, man. I mean, all day we're talking about it. Let's do that.
I did it Saturday.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of stuff to do. The whole plan was to crock pot something because Formula One was going to be on Saturday night for a change. I'll tell you what, that Domino's hit the spot, though.
Damn straight, dude.
Thin crust.
Yeah, that's exactly what we got.
They have great pizza.
They do. My buddy was like, man, this is really good. I was like, that's my go-to.
Yep. I mean, that's it. Just this is easier.
There's a man in New York City paying $1,100 per month to live in an apartment that is 95 square feet.
Because he's in, I'm assuming, Manhattan.
Okay.
How big at 95 square feet? I mean, what is that, a bathroom?
They compare it to a parking lot.
Look, if you can live in a van.
A parking spot.
Parking space, yeah.
I mean, probably easier to live in a van because you can go out.
There's a lot of people that I live in my car not because I'm broke in Manhattan. I'm just saying, I live in my car because I actually have more space. I don't have a roommate. My sister-in-law, Ted, the one that you visited out there, she lived in Manhattan for a while, right? She's living the dream, and she spent as much on rent as I spent on mortgage. The difference was there was a bathroom, then there's a living room, kitchen, bedroom, and then something that she called a bedroom, and I'm like, that's actually a closet. She's like, I know it's a closet, but so now she lives in Brooklyn, it's still super expensive, but not as bad. She's like, I have my own bedroom. Like, I can physically leave the living room and go to a different room to go to bed.
Right. Something that I've kind of been molding myself here in the past few years is just getting better at certain basic skills because, inevitably, I found myself just a little bit too dependent on the luxuries that we have and the convenience of everything. So I need to get back to basics, right? Because at some point the grid's going to go down, and when it does, we need to be able to get ourselves afloat for that. Yeah,
all right.
I haven't been going through a crisis at all. In fact, I got an entire list.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 important skills you'll need if the power goes out for weeks. First things first, take the plates off of your vehicle. Cover it, and I mean cover it in mud. Change your appearance. You'll need a ski mask and all black clothes. A truck is preferred. Stop at a gas station or home improvement store. Take all the full propane containers. Acquire a camping stove. Get your hands on some canned food. Canned food only. Next stop, the liquor store. Don't be greedy. Just get what you need and add on 20% just to be safe. Oh, and you should probably get a couple bottles of water.
That would also help. So these are...
That's all of his plans for Wyoming.
That's a fact. So these are important skills that you'll need if the power goes out for weeks. Miles, I'm sure that you already have your entire handbook.
I swear to God, we were just talking about this outside during the commercial break and had no idea you were going there. No, I'm dead serious.
No, seriously.
We really were.
Like, what were you talking
I
about?
was thinking about getting a generator for my solar pump.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was our conversation.
Exactly.
Basic skills being like clothing and insulation. Basic sewing skills will help extend the life of your clothing, so it's a good idea to have a sewing kit that includes needles, threads, safety pins, and scissors, and also just a basic understanding of how to put things back together.
That's when my wife comes in handy.
That's
like,
facts.
Baby,
I've never sewed anything. I do have a needle and thread.
Yeah, there was one time I was doing an auction. It was down in Portland, I believe, and I was in tuxedo. I was all ready to rock and roll before the auction. We'd gone through the meeting. Everything's all fine. I bent over to pick something up. My back just blew out of my pants. And so I was immediately in the bathroom in there. I spent the entire prep time in there trying my
Sewing
best.
your ass
That
together?
was my first time actually sewing something together.
How did you do?
It did not open back up for the rest of the night.
And all right, hey, job accomplished.
That's right.
Yeah.
It worked for the couple of hours that I needed it to.
Also good to have a little sewing kit in your Dopp kit that you travel with.
Yes.
Because that's when you really need it.
100%. I don't know where in the world you get them. Probably Amazon, but...
No, you can buy them they have a hanging rack at like Bartell.
Okay.
So like where you find your little shampoos.
Oh, yeah.
They have a little one of those with the nail clippers.
Gotcha. Okay. Bartering and negotiation. Items that are likely to be high in demand during a power outage include food, water, filters, and fuel. This could be used for a bartering for things that you need or help with projects. Building trust within your community is essential to ensuring honest and reliable trade.
I offer my sex. Yeah. and we're going to starve to death.
Bartering with
trade. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Oh, Lordy. Waste management. Again, these are useful skills that you'll need in case the power goes out for weeks. You may benefit from building a compositing toilet to manage human waste hygienically, according to Home Biogas. All you need is, for the simplest model of a DIY composting toilet, is a structure similar to a wooden box that enables you to add a toilet seat over a 5-gallon bucket that you bury in the ground.
I think when the S hits the fan, my main concern will be like, are we being economic or environmentally friendly?
Well, and at that point, it's like, as long as you're putting it in nature, I don't give a damn. Like, I also hold that for, like, when you're walking your dog out in nature.
Yeah, poop next to a tree.
Right. Keep it off the beaten path so nobody accidentally steps in it, but you put it into a bush out there in the side. All right, I don't care.
The bush will thank you.
Exactly. Don't worry, it'll grow great. Navigating skills. There you go, Miles. Without access to digital navigation, you can use a map and compass for basic navigation, including planning routes and scoping out your local area.
My grandfather had a map of every state on the East Coast in his glove compartment.
All right.
He also had an atlas in the back.
Yes.
So when we drive, he would hand me the different maps from the states. Also demanded that they be folded perfectly when he...
Oh, my God.
That was my father.
That's very difficult to do.
Yes.
My father would give the maps to my brother because if you had to pick out of the two of us to help guide you, he is the better choice. But when it came to folding those maps, man, my brother would go into this cold panic, right? And the two of us would try to do it, and it did not matter what we did. We did not do it right, and my father made it very clear. God damn it.
Yeah.
When you put the lines in the map, now we can't see this part of the highway.
From a scouting standpoint, though, I geeked out on topographical maps of hiking trails.
You
to see where
still
the
do.
Yeah, because the lines were so close. I'm like, don't walk over here.
Exactly.
That's a cliff.
Right. Look, it's just like it says on the paper.
It's so tight.
I follow like 3 map accounts just on Twitter.
Map accounts?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Well, some
I think
are
they're fascinating.
Yes, and some are just like old maps. Like you always hear about different empires and this and that.
Sure.
Like sometimes it's very interesting.
Yeah.
You're right. It's nerd stuff, but I'm with Miles. I still like it. I still
No, I get it. You surprise me every day.
And
I like drug smugglers,
and
I'm on the map thing.
Yeah, and to take a compass and orient that map, to orientate it, and to put it in the right position.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why I geeked out on that as a kid, but I did. I was like, aha.
Important skills you'll need.
I know. You ever just check the compass on your phone? Just
Yes.
check it?
Yes, I do.
Or in your car.
We're facing south-southwest. It doesn't matter.
That's why the
but I
sun's
wanted to-
that's why the sun's in your eyes right now.
Yeah, I do, man. I absolutely do.
Important skills you'll need if the power goes out for weeks. This is one that they don't talk about a whole lot, but mental resilience. You can manage your stress levels by using strategies such as mindfulness, deep breathing exercises, and maintaining social connections. Keeping a routine will also help to provide a sense of normality and control in uncertain times. Yeah,
Also
keeping
say
your mentals
this,
together.
you have bigger fish to fry if the power goes out. There's a severe situation for the most part.
If it's out that
it's
long,
happening. You have a hurricane, you have an ice storm, you have flooding. I mean, there's bigger fish to fry. You're going to be busy the entire day.
But when they, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys will, but when they were making the movie Castaway, they were basically asking what are the bare essentials that Tom Hanks needs to be able to survive on this island? And that is why Wilson was a character, because they were like, he needs companionship. I don't care if it's an invisible friend that he's talking to. He needs to have somebody basically there to keep his brain in check.
I'll bring my Squishmallow.
There you go. Man, you will befriend that doggone thing.
Yeah.
If you lost it, you would be devastated.
Right.
You know what? I do keep a football in the trunk.
There you go.
What would you name your football?
Spalding.
Tutty.
All right.
Tutty.
Ted's already playing for the apocalypse.
Oh,
it's
his name will be Tutty, yeah.
I keep a football and a 12er in my trunk, unopened, just in case. You never know when a tailgate's going to break out.
But then who's the one prepared?
Yeah, exactly. Look, fellas, I got old Tutty and a 12er.
Rounding it up here, just in case, just before we get to the front there, we got gardening and foraging, water purification, fire making, basic first aid.
I do have a life straw.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I could suck water out of puddles.
Exactly.
Or toilets.
No
hey,
kidding.
when you're that thirsty, whatever. I will say this, your Boy Scout training will come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the event of the apocalypse.
You're damn right it will.
I got a rack of lighters.
You see that knot? That's a bootleg.
I can tie a knot. I'll survive. But then, according... But then, according to this site, the number one important skill that you'll need if the power goes out for weeks: candle making.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Candle making is a simple way to create light and a heat source for evenings. Outdoor Life says, quote, all you need to make candles is wax, a heat source for melting the wax, plant fiber wick material, and a container.
I got this. Candle buying beforehand.
Indeed.
Where does one acquire wax?
It's a good question,
Out of
Ted.
your ears.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know where you go to get
All right, because I'm like, yeah, I fathom how candles work, but like, where do I get the wax?
I gotta assume they'd like knock over a beehive. They're gonna be pissed, but then you can get
the power
That
is out.
would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Knocking
Hey, Mike.
over a beehive is the first thing I'm going to do.
Go knock over the beehive, Mike.
I got it. I'm
more
gonna get
likely
honey
to-
and wax.
Yeah, I'm going to knock over a bank first.
A family in Missouri had SWAT burst into their home, but you won't believe why, Miles.
Why did SWAT bust in their home?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Tickets or headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Recess recreated the cocktails you know and love, like a lime margarita and a grapefruit paloma, but without the alcohol. So you can enjoy the flavors and feelings of your favorite drinks without the hangover. Each lightly sparkling canned mocktail is infused with functional ingredients and made with real fruit, all with only 25 calories or less. So whether you're relaxing after work or hanging out with friends, Recess Zero Proof Craft Mocktails are a guilt-free way to unwind. Head to takearecess.com/mocktails now to get 15% off the Recess Mocktails Sampler Pack.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
The time it is, as usual, we head to the drink test. And Steve and Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast the Good Samaritans just across the water there of Vancouver Island, Canada. Now, in this case, they called the cops to report an impaired driver. The irony is that they reported him after he crashed his truck into a sign that read, "Report impaired drivers." So they did. Oh, yeah. They told the cops they saw a truck jump on the curb, go onto the sidewalk, and then take out the sign. Then the guy drove off. Police did manage to pull the truck over nearby, and they figured it's the same guy because, well, the front side of his truck was all dented up. They eventually confirmed that it was him after another officer showed up to where they pulled him over with the impaired driver sign and also the guy's license plate. Yeah, it turns out it fell off during the crash. Anyway, they released a photo of the sign leaned up against the truck. No word on these specific charges he's facing, but I like that they called to report impaired driver after the impaired driver hit the sign that says report impaired driver. Good on to Vancouver. Keep it up, man. I like it.
He reported himself.
Yeah, basically. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. But first, an update from our more astute listeners out there. The first text says, Steve, crayons are made of wax. You can use crayons.
Oh.
Like what? Now we know.
There we go.
And then someone else says you can make wax from dead bodies. I'm going to use the crayons.
I think it's easier to find crayons.
Light the Ted candle.
What do you call that? It used to be Ted. It's a simple game to play where we share with you.
Easy. I have one thing you guys don't when the lights go out.
But we know. Where is it?
Also has a light on it.
Electric lock, no!
So it's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Hefe, you understand how this here game is played?
I certainly do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one.
Oh, hey, by the way,
yes.
belated birthday.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. The good news is I'm still 55. Keep the well wishes coming. We got 3 stories for me. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Let's go with Bite Me today.
Just eat it. Get yourself an egg and beef.
Jeff, you're not the first person to tell me that today. All right, here we go. They say parents are concerned after they say their children were forced to eat ice cream mixed with something, and they claim this happened at work. So Angela Patton says one night her 17-year-old daughter was called into work at the Campton Dairy Queen for a mandatory meeting. In the meeting, her daughter claims that employees were told to eat ice cream that had been contaminated with something. You understand? Follow so far? So she says, following the incident, some of the employees had to be taken to the emergency room for treatment. Her quote is, some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream. She says about 8 employees were involved, many of whom were minors. Some of them, including her daughter, they quit due to the incident. Now the Wolf County Sheriff's Office says they're investigating the situation. Quote, we still have multiple people coming in to give statements, but as for now, it's still under investigation. And the same guy says because there are juveniles involved, he's limited on what he can say about the situation, but they're working with the county attorney to determine what action should be taken in this case. Now, while no charges have been filed at this time, the mother says she hopes to see that change soon. Quote, I do have a meeting scheduled with the lawyer. What they've done is not right. So, anyway, the question is, what did the Dairy Queen manager mix with the ice cream and then insist that the employees eat? Was it marijuana? Was it vodka? Was it hot sauce? Or was it cleaning solution? So weed, vodka, hot sauce, or cleaning solution. One of these was deliberately mixed with the ice cream. The manager told them that it was, and then had the employees eat it. And we don't know why he did this.
All of these guys, these boys now, it was all boys that did it, and it was all underage, right?
Most of the employees are minors. That's a Dairy Queen. So maybe you got 2 or 3 that are 18 or over, but it's your average Dairy Queen employee.
And you said Wolf County where? I missed the state.
You know what? Give me a second. I'll Google this for you. It is, hold on. Hang on.
Right, so the manager's like, you guys,
for you, brother.
And the manager was like, you guys all have to try this.
So my only guess, and I don't know, this is not in the story, is that so a customer had gone to that Dairy Queen, got their ice cream, and one of these 4 things was in it, right?
Okay.
That's my thought, and therefore the manager says, hey, try it with this crap in there and see what you think. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Do not quote me on that.
I know where I'm leaning, because you said, so they went to the hospital and then they didn't say anything about anybody staying overnight or anything like that.
No, it does not say. It's in Kentucky.
Hey, Jeff, can you shut up for a minute while I pick marijuana?
It's in Kentucky. It's in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Gotcha. I'm going to go hot sauce just because they're minors, burning sensation. I think hot sauce, which is stupid. But
That's not, actually
anybody feeding hot vodka or cleaning solution to a bunch of kids.
I didn't think about that hop aspect. Yeah, I think you're right, man.
I'm going to go vodka because they're underage, and that would make it burn.
What did they spike the ice cream with? Marijuana, vodka, hot sauce, or cleaning solution? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a promotional message for Alexia Sweet Potato Fries. And in the process of elucidating you on all the wondrous virtues Alexia Sweet Potato Fries have to offer, I intend to do so in a prodigious manner befitting of such a superlative side. That's because all Alexia creations are creatively crafted, from sweet potato fries that accomplish a delicate balance of sweet and savoury, without GMOs or superfluous additives, to the eloquent lexicon of our advertisements, like this one, because every Alexia experience is intended to feel creatively crafted and exceptional without exception. Alexia Sweet Potato Fries. Do procure them in your grocer's freezer.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Our categories by me on Profiles. Children ate some ice cream that was mixed with something at a Dairy Queen. Now, 8 employees were involved. The situation is under investigation because they were children. Very little details have been released.
Yeah.
But obviously someone spiked the ice cream and then gave it to the kids. Question is, what was in the ice cream? Marijuana, vodka, hot sauce, or cleaning solution?
And Jeff, that is the very question we posed to you. Let us start with D. Ted Smith. What was the vodka? It was not vodka.
Okay.
We go to Miles Montgomery. You went with the old weed.
I did.
It was not weed. So, Jeff, you're the lone person that took hot sauce. Nope. Believe it or not, it was cleaning solution. No, they mixed it with frickin' cleaning solution.
Was he trying to prove a point because he thought one of them did it?
That's what I'm saying. They don't give a lot of information in the story. The only thing in my mind that makes sense is it's your day off. I call you into work to give you ice cream and cleaning solution. I tell you this cleaning solution, so I'm assuming that a customer said, hey, I tasted this in your product. And that was his way of saying, hey, this is why it's important. That's not a guarantee.
No, I know. That's the only thing I could fathom.
Especially when you tell people this is what I put in your ice cream, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, man.
Now for all TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got Seth Meyers.
Sure.
The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Stephen Colbert. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It's right there in the title. It's guys that seems to talent to write or something come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Amid the ongoing safety investigations, Boeing announced its CEO is stepping down. Well, don't let the blown out door hit you on the way out.
I think it's Fallon.
Colbert.
Fallon.
Some business news. Amid the ongoing safety investigations, Boeing announced that its CEO is stepping down. Well, don't let the blown out door hit you on the way out,
Boeing announced that 3 of their executives are stepping down. Or to put it in Boeing terms, they were sucked out.
Seth, beat that Smith.
Seth.
Boeing announced that 3 of its senior executives are stepping down, or to put it in Boeing terms, they were sucked out.
I bet you they get more in their golden parachute than anyone we know makes in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't have to work ever again.
Christiansburg, Virginia has become the first American city with a test program that allows residents to get Wendy's delivered by a drone. So if you ever thought about moving to Christiansburg, Virginia, now you have a reason.
Beat that Smith.
Yes.
That is
me. Domino's started that, right? Or they tried it, or they said they were going to.
They might have. Wendy's, I guess, did it in some European country. That's just a random small town, which I found out today is also where Daniel Boone is from.
Okay, I stopped at Wendy's yesterday for breakfast. They have the best potato product in the morning of any of the fast food chains.
Got those little triangles.
Yes, they are.
Let's see. Porsche unveiled one of its fastest road cars in the world. Perfect for you to drive as fast as you can away from that feeling that you all are now as a car guy and Linda doesn't love you and maybe she never did.
Seth.
Colbert.
Porsche just unveiled one of the fastest road cars in the world. Perfect for you to drive as fast as you can away from the feeling that all you are is a car guy now and Linda doesn't love you and maybe she never did. It sounds weird, but that's their slogan. Porsche, your wife is going to leave you.
On Saturday, the cruise ship Carnival of Freedom caught fire, which is good because at this point, it's the only way to sanitize them.
Myers.
Found.
That's Seth.
On Saturday, the cruise ship Carnival of Freedom caught on fire, which is good because at this point, that's the only way to sanitize them.
I'd say overall, just a tough year for travel companies or travel stuff.
Yep. Yeah, Boeing's going through its thing, but the funny thing, the NTSB, they're getting on United Airlines. United Airlines, like, dude, we just bought the Boeing planes. We don't manufacture them, but United's going through it. Boeing's going through it. Cruise ships going through it. You're right, man.
Well, it sucks for the rank and file, like Boeing employee. Like, they're just there doing...
I'm just here doing my job. This is what the boss tells us to do.
Like, nobody on the line at Boeing was like, oh, maybe we should use this part or that part. Yeah. They're just putting together...
We decided to improvise.
Well, the problem with that is, working in that environment is you're doing your job. You've done it every day, but the emails you get from the company, way different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you got cruise ship stuff. You got... I don't know. It's just like, all right... A lot of stuff going on.
I feel like with cruise ships, though, they're always kind of in this. It can be norovirus, it can be this, that, and the other. And you kind of go, okay, I'm willing to accept this risk on the cruise ship. But if cruise ships had as many mechanical problems as these Boeing planes right now, people would stop going on cruises. Right?
Well, and you're right. Cruise ships already have kind of the inherent kind of
like danger. You joke about it in advance.
Right, but you're just stuck there in a city that, like...
I'm not going to die.
Right, but you're right. It's very easy. You can see how people get sick and everything else because it's like, all right, well, you're on that ship. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
So the Price is Right. Again, everybody likes The Price is Right. To me, that was a highlight of a sick day when you were a child. Got your ginger ale, got your soup, got your saltines. You could watch The Price is Right because it always aired at 10 or 11, so you never watched it during the day.
Correct. Also, that was the end of your TV viewing for the day because everything turned into adult programming for people who were at home.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like nowadays where you could hop online or any of the streaming services and find a kid's show. Like, that was kind of it. Also, look, I won't lie, even as an adult, like if we have a weekday off or whatever, 2 shows I kind of get geeked to watch. I guess not as much The Price is Right. I'm always like, oh, it's on. But if it's ever, with the time change on the West Coast, like we start our show at 2 o'clock, right? And then so 2 o'clock, 2:30 is always prime time. But I'm always like, ooh, part of the interruption. Look at me at the weekday at 2:30. I think I might watch it. Because nowadays, if I watch part of the interruption, I watch it at like 11:30 at night when they re-air it.
Right.
Which, by the way, shout out to Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon, who kind of started the 2 guys. They just don't yell at each other as much as everybody does now.
Yeah.
So The Price is Right. I didn't know this. This is kind of wild. Former producer, he said they had a system in place in case somebody peed their pants. He said, I never saw it happen, but there were curtains and a blow dryer and a pair of sweats just in case, since we had to get on with the show. This was the same guy that got in a little trouble. He replaced Alex Trebek for a little bit there.
That dude, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, that makes sense because you know what I mean? Like, they're taping it. They got to keep it moving. So it's like you could see people get real excited. I mean,
yes, they do.
And I
think there's like 2 dislocated knees, 1 broken collarbone just to get down to the front row. So, like, I read all the injuries. The Price is Right. Some people spinning the wheel get hit in the shoulder or dislocate their shoulder. There's been like 15 different things that can happen on this game
just
show.
Getting down
just based on the excitement level of the contestants.
Right, and I don't know this to be true, but I've heard the rumors. I'm pretty sure The Price is Right too. Like, you get tickets, you get all the rules and stuff, but I'm pretty sure when you're in line or when you're going in, like, they ask you a couple questions. Like, they want to know who's really going to lose their S.
Yeah.
When they say come on down and everything. You know what I mean? It's never just like some guy or some woman just being like, well, hey, glad you picked me. Must be pretty nice. You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing. There's a method to that madness there. Plus, honestly, I think anybody that goes to The Price is Right. At this, like, if you're going there, you want to be picked, you want to be fired up person.
Of course.
This is kind of an interesting list. This list comes to us, and it's from Ranker.com. These are the best comedy films of all time. Now, the interesting thing on here is that some of them are holiday movies that rank very high, but you don't even think about, like, you'd still watch them other times of the year. I'll just give it to you. Christmas Vacation is number 2 on the list. All right, so best comedy films of all time. Miles, take some guesses.
I mean,
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, number 1.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
I mean, we're going old school here.
Most of these are pretty old school. I'm trying to look. The newest one on the list, honestly, is probably from 2004.
I'll say...
So a lot of these, honestly,
Bad Santa.
Mike hasn't even
I like
seen.
Bad Santa. I'll say Airplane.
Oh, that should be.
Airplane is number 3 on the list.
Okay. That was a good one. Caddyshack.
Caddyshack is number 10 on the list.
Okay.
Keep going. These are right in your wheelhouse.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun makes it number 12 on the list. They're on
Spinal Tap, maybe? I mean, based on what we do. I don't think that's maybe universally.
Spinal Tap doesn't make it. So they start with Animal House at the bottom of the list.
Okay.
And then the newest film to the list, Shaun of the Dead.
I never saw
neither.
that, but I've heard it was hilarious.
It was a good one.
Okay.
It is, and I'm not a sci-fi or zombie person at all. Shaun of the Dead is a damn funny movie. Plus, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, they've done a bunch of stuff together. I know Simon Pegg does more stuff now. I think Nick Frost kind of took a step back for a minute, but honestly, if those two guys do a movie together, it's pretty damn funny. Because there's one where I want to say he's like a cop in town, and that one's
Fuzz.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz was pretty good, and that has to do with like mysterious. Is it like a ghost or a goblin? Yes, I mean that's all pretty good.
Coming to America,
number 16 on the list.
Okay. That is a funny movie.
Got a half tank of gas, half tank of gas, pack of cigarettes. Blues Brothers.
Yep.
Again, we're going over the best comedy films of all time ranked. Ferris Bueller's Day Off made the list.
Did you really think that was a funny movie?
I was going to say
Blues Brothers?
No, Ferris Bueller. I enjoyed it, but
It was a fun ride, but it wasn't hilarious.
But you're not laughing out loud.
The funniest
It
part...
has very good quotables. I thought it was hilarious.
It does. But I think the best part was when they stole that Ferrari.
I think most people did.
And then the dude is flying over those humps. And he's smiling. They slow it down. Like, to me, that was the funniest part. Not when the Ferrari goes
Yeah, I don't
crashing.
remember laughing out loud, but I remember I really liked the movie.
I don't know, man. You're Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Seattle. Or Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty funny movie. What else? Happy Gilmore makes the list. That's a great movie. Even though I'm not a fan of
I have to go back and rewatch that.
Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
It's good. Spaceballs makes the list.
That was a funny one.
Yeah, I liked it.
Pizza the Hut.
Office Space makes the list.
Great movie.
Ooh,
and again, I didn't really laugh out loud, but I enjoyed it the entire time.
Yeah, it's,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's not as much slapstick as it is just good kind of commentary.
I'm always kind of smiling, but I'm never really laughing. But to me, that's a good thing.
Also, I like Waiting. Wasn't that popular? But
I loved Waiting.
I thought it had some great.
Yes.
Well, also too, it's completely inappropriate. I watched it with my kids. I'm like, oh man. But I explained to them, this is the restaurant industry.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not on the list. I'd put There's Something About Mary on this list.
I
remember going to. Me and Bernie went and saw that movie 2 or 3 times in the theater because it was freaking hilarious. We had just not seen a movie like that.
On that note, I would say Tropic Thunder. Probably not on the list. I thought that movie was
recently
hysterical.
rewatched it. It is hilarious.
It holds up.
Still holds up.
Some other classics to make the list: Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
A great flick.
The original Vacation, My Cousin Vinny, which I'm always...
Oh man, you know what? That is a funny.
Yep, saw that in theaters. Trading Places.
Good movie.
Princess Bride.
I'm an apologist. I love it.
My wife loves the movie, and I really enjoyed the movie. But again, I don't really laugh out loud, but you're kind of smirking the entire time.
Yes.
They do a good job of keeping
I never
you
thought
happy.
of that as a comedy.
There's not a bad point in the movie.
What else did you think it would be?
I don't know.
I always thought it was
not tailored for
Storm
me.
in the castle.
Who was the star of that?
Carrie Elways. And
Andre the Giant. Yeah.
Andre the Giant was in there. Robin Wright, is that her name?
Yeah.
Was it David Bowie in it?
No.
Or am I confusing that with another movie?
Is it Mandy Patinkin out of
Mandy Patinkin was in there, yes.
Let's see. Speaking of funny stuff, Dave Attell, we've had him on the show before.
Yes, I do remember that, Ted.
There you go.
I saw you give me the look like I remember him.
Dave Attell, he's one of those guys. He just, honestly, he was just a lot more quiet in person than I expected.
Yes.
But Insomniac, when that show was on Comedy Central.
Great show.
I loved it. It's funny, I didn't even know he had a new comedy, his new specials on Netflix. I didn't even know he had a new special out. I was just reading up on him the other day, and they were asking about Insomniac, and he said, yes, you had to be very careful. There's a line between like people buzzed up that were good and people way too drunk. And he said there was also a fine line for him of being a good amount of buzzed and him being too drunk. And then I know a lot of people like Shogun over on FX. Episode 6 is out tonight.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
From executive producer Jimmy Kimmel.
What's up, team? Just 2 people can't launch a brand. It takes a village.
We are MMD Hollywood.
Wow,
which stands for medical marijuana.
Due to restrictions, we can't tell you everything about our new reality series. But what we can say is the idea behind it is fully baked. High Hopes. Streaming 4/20 on Hulu.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Is there anything more satisfying than finding something that perfectly lines up with your taste and checks all the boxes? Like getting the perfect fit with a suit from Indochino. Their suits are made to measure and totally customizable with endless options. From timeless classics to bold statements, you can express your style exactly how you want. Choose your own cut, fabric, lining, buttons, lapels, and more to create the suit of your dreams, all at a surprisingly affordable price. They also offer fully customizable blazers, pants, outerwear, women's wear, and more. Every Indochino piece is made to your exact measurements, and they make getting measured easy. Simply set up your measurement profile in less than 10 minutes. You can send your measurements online from the comfort of your home or make an appointment at one of our showrooms. Find the perfect fit with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code PODCAST to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's 10% off with code PODCAST.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Bus driver in the UK pulls to the side of the road to service his love dart. Meanwhile, a Utah man pretends to be a cop to beat traffic, which is not very smart. St. Louis SWAT team busts in the wrong house and destroys everything inside. Burning down your own apartment to evict tenants, not something that I would have tried. And an alligator living at the Coca-Cola plant forced to switch to Diet Coke. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story. We got to Missouri, where local authorities are in some big trouble. The long story is that a couple victims were leaving a Waffle House when a group of thieves jumped them and stole their car. They weren't able to get any kind of a description of the suspects, but did note that one of the victims' AirPods were left in the car, prompting them to use the Find My service, which can help locate them. This took authorities to a neighborhood, and they pinged the house that they believed to house the carjackers. They obtained a warrant, rallied a SWAT team, and used a battering ram to break into the house under the notion that they believed that that they were armed and dangerous suspects inside. Unfortunately, they found a home occupied by your average middle-class family, complete with small children inside. They detained the family outside of the home and ransacked the place looking for the AirPods, leaving a basketball-sized hole in the wall and a damaged drop ceiling. Like, they tore this house up. And they finally came upon the AirPods, which had been tossed out of the car and onto the sidewalk of the neighborhood.
Jesus God.
The department is now facing some severe lawsuits from the family. So basically they were saying, guys, this Find My thing it's accurate to a point, but it's not...
It doesn't mean you find the people, you find the thing.
Well, and it's not that you do, that you find the people, you find the thing. It's that, yes, it is in this area, but where you see that little pin there, like, it's right there.
Right.
That's accurate within, like, 10 feet or something like that. Like, that
for sure.
Just because it's pinging the house, it doesn't mean that the exact location is where it's at.
They went in, man.
They did. And...
Well, like, if you don't get full repercussions for your actions, then nothing deters you from doing it.
Right.
I mean, it's the most basic thing in all of humanity.
Well,
if you're not punished for what it is that you did wrong, you have no problem doing it.
And then check the garage. Do you see the stolen car in their garage, out on the sidewalk anywhere? Like... This is where you believe the car to be. You believe they weren't smart enough to pull the AirPods out of the car. So, okay, so it's got to be somewhere there. Do you need the battering ram? Do you need the SWAT? They're armed and dangerous. Okay. Do you need the SWAT team?
So, did they end up finding the car they're looking for?
Not that I know of just yet. I didn't read that part of the story, but it's certainly a bad look.
Yes, it is.
Because, I mean, the parents are screaming like, I've got small children in here. What is going on? And they're going full bore.
Sit down, shut the F up,
right.
all the stuff that goes
Hands
along
up.
with it.
Like, they went and rounded up the kids and all that. Like, damn, all right. In other news, speaking of mistakes at work, we go to the lovely world of the internet where a bus driver is in hot water. Over in the UK, someone noticed a bus that was stopped on the side of a fairly quiet road, but at least they could see the bus driver standing next to the vehicle. But he wasn't alone. After investigating the scene for more than a second, our eagle-eyed social media user decided to snap a photo of the driver and share it to Facebook, as the driver was receiving oral sex by his companion on the side of the road.
Well, the first thing I'd say is, if you're going to do that, don't wear your high visibility vest.
Well, this act is already unbecoming of an employee at work. We can all rest easy that he was being safe at the time of the act, as he still had his high visibility vest on at the time that the pair was spotted.
Oh, it's a high visibility.
Yeah, I mean, and they proved the point.
Yep,
I can see you.
The department said that they're conducting an investigation of the incident. God, that sucks.
An investigation of what they...
no pun intended.
I got a mouth hug.
Right.
You know I did.
Right.
Whatever else you got to investigate, do that. But, like, yeah, I got a mouth hug. You see me in the picture.
Right. I also like that. It is the department, whatever metro group that they have over there, the bus company that they're working for. We're conducting an investigation. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Here's the picture.
Damn it, Steve. What did I tell you about doing this, man?
Take off the vest.
Right. Even with the vest. Dude, take it out back. Don't be right next to the doggone bus.
I could use one of the road guy signs though for some times like that, like slow or stop.
Only have sex with flaggers, I'll let you know.
Oh, no. Down to Utah, where a man is in men's room court for a stupidity violation. Authorities were called about him as he made his way down the freeway, but didn't feel like waiting through traffic. He had installed red and blue flashing lights on his work truck for his construction company and was using them to get people to move out of the way so that he could get to his destination quicker. Hey, we've all wanted to do that, right? Authorities found and stopped him, and I'm happy to report that he came clean. He admitted to wrongdoing, leading to his arrest and a search of the truck. which turned up amphetamine, which he admitted to using to help him stay awake. He was tested and came back positive for cannabis, amphetamine, and methamphetamine. Side note, there's a difference. He now faces several charges.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, you're already breaking the rules by flashing your lights.
Well, one thing, you can't smoke weed. Not if you have a CDL.
And in Utah.
Period.
Right.
I mean, you could do all the rest because it's out of your system in 2 or 3 days.
Right. You're already breaking a very bad rule by impersonating an officer. I get it. You weren't pulling anybody over, and you might get off a little bit easier because of that. But still, they take that incredibly seriously.
Yes.
They don't play that at all. And you're doggone high.
On top of that.
Come on, man.
Does that make you feel better or worse? So you go like, at least he made the stupid decision because he's not sober.
I don't think he made it because he was not sober.
If you're dead
he had
sober
to install those damn things into his car, dude.
But you got to follow through, and that to me says, and I don't know if this could be true, but that says you're on something enough.
You're a moron.
Where at no point did you think this was a bad idea that would backfire.
And just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully there's good news.
A gator down in Florida is finally getting the help it needs. It was found by authorities after locals raised some concerns about a damaged fence surrounding a retention pond behind an old Coca-Cola factory. They investigated to find a 9-foot gator in the area that had indulged itself enough to weigh in at an astounding 400 pounds. Turns out the neighbors had been tossing deli meat to the gator as he roamed about the area. The animal was taken to a place called Croc Encounters, where a vet took a look at the gator and decided to take him in and put him on a diet to get his weight down. So they're gonna get him healthy.
You a fat gator.
Men's Room IPA continues to spread about the Pacific Northwest. Our friend Kim found Men's Room IPA at the Safeway in Eastgate. We also got a text here recently that said that someone found it at the Arco off of 116th and Totem Lake. And of course, you can always find a comprehensive list of locations at the Men's Room page of KISW.com.
Pine Box, Capitol Hill, On Draft, Edmonds Hero Ace Hardware and Grocer, which is apparently a great place.
All right.
Stop by there and pick it up, too.
Fantastic. Men's Room Sports. The Mariners had their last spring training game of the season this afternoon against the Padres, coming out on top to finish the spring strong with a 7-6 victory. They'll return home for opening day this coming Thursday, just 2 days away, against the Red Sox. What are you going to watch tonight? There's NBA on TNT, college hoops on ESPN and ESPN2, and the Kraken are hosting the Ducks tonight over on Root Sports. Puck drops at 7. Got about 12 games or so left in the season.
So you're done with
1 game? 2 games out?
Seattle.
I need them to win, Miles. They've been on a losing streak. I don't know if it's doing bad.
Are they, 2 games?
They're like 2 games out of the wild card right now.
So in spite of how bad they've been playing, there's still 2 games out. Come on, they got 12 games, Mike.
The rest of them can do worse. Things are staying dry tonight as far as your weather goes. Temperatures dipping down to the mid-40s, and the rain is back with a vengeance tomorrow. Currently shows an 80% chance of rain by 6 a.m., and that'll maintain all day long with the temperature dropping into the mid-50s by 4 p.m. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Who sucks less up tomorrow? Hopefully the Kraken don't suck less tonight.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Listening to your favorite podcast? That's smart. Earning your degree online from Southern New Hampshire University? That's really smart. With 24/7 access to coursework, no set class times, and dedicated student support, you can go to school when and where it works for you. Low online tuition means you can even do it for less. And dedicated student support means we'll be with you from day one to graduation and beyond. Join a community of learners just like you. Go to snhu.edu today to start your free application.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.